he is actually just a gross, terrible human being. Also teabagged. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but he's like mega alpha, and he's been teabagged by a man, balls in his mouth, basically, while his girl was getting... You didn't know? You don't know that story?
I know about it, but I don't know about him getting teabagged.
Yeah, basically, he said he was going down on his girl while a dude was fucking her from the back, and
he said those words.
Or no, sorry, no, I got it wrong. He was fucking his girl as the dude was under him. His balls were right on a dude's face, so he was teabagging another man. Oh, we're starting? Is this it?
Yeah.
All right, Steiny, I got it. No, I'm just kidding.
You scared the shit out of him, bro.
Steiny came in a little like nervous, but I think it'd be nice to just meet and talk. I'm doing like my outreach.
Yeah, I like that.
You know?
I'm very impressed with you, bro.
You are?
Yeah.
Well, this is how he starts it, so like you're easier on him.
I with your fit.
Oh, thank you, bro.
You look like you lost a ton of weight.
I did.
You have a nice Prezi on.
Thank
which I didn't
bro.
think you'd have that. I took you for an Apple Watch guy.
My wife bought it for me for my birthday.
Oh, that was very sweet of her.
Yeah.
It's a very nice
I
piece.
love it. Thank you.
Yeah. So maybe we could be boys.
Well, you know, we're going to play poker together.
Yeah, also, which I didn't know
in Vegas.
You played cards.
I'm an experienced poker player.
Cards Against Humanity guy, not poker.
Nope. I can play that too.
Wait, so you gamble?
I'm not like a gambler per se, but I definitely have spent a lot of time playing poker.
He's favored to beat me.
By who?
Like they do odds like who's gonna last longer.
Odds? Who does the odds?
Just some gambling site.
Oh, you can bet on
this.
it?
Yes.
And they have that's interesting.
And they have you favored over me, but then they have Tana 2-1 over you.
I'm gonna win.
You think so?
Yeah.
Well, what's your experience?
I'm being cocky because I'm just being silly, but actually we're bringing our crew there and we're gonna shoot it like a podcast episode. So I'm looking forward to having fun with it. My wife is playing too.
Is it going to be live?
Yeah, it'll be live. It's on an hour delay.
But are you going to shoot it live?
So we're figured out a way to shoot it on an hour delay so it broadcasts at the same time as theirs. Because they don't want
I didn't agree to you're doing your shit on there.
Well, bro, you actually did.
I guess I did.
Fine print, brother.
Wait, so have you played before?
Yeah, I've spent a lot of time. I've won tournaments. I've played in tournaments.
Like WSOP tournaments?
Nothing like that, but I used to play a lot of online poker in college, and I think the biggest tournament I won was like 2,000 people. Something like
that. Pay?
It was a really low buy-in.
Like 10 grand?
It was like $5 buy-in. So yeah, it was like 10.
Do you talk about gambling much or not much? Just something you do on the
side?
No,
I'm not interested in like gambling. I love poker though. For some reason, I don't think of poker so much as gambling as like a game of skill.
I need to get into it.
Because it's an ego thing too.
Why?
Because like, it's not all about poker's a skilled game, but there's a lot of ego involved too. Because if you take somebody's money, which like I would love to take all your money, I'd love to take all his money. So it's like there's an ego part of it.
Is that is that part of what allures you? Is it the ego aspect, or like
the competitive aspect?
Okay.
Yeah, not the ego aspect, but like
which kind of similar.
What I'm saying is though is like if you beat, like I played Bryce Hall before.
Yeah.
And he beat me, and he like was high on life for a few days about it.
Yeah.
Because there is some part of it where you want to be like, it's a skill game.
Because you got to take their money.
Yeah, it's a skill game.
It's a skill game. It's like beating someone in chess, bro. Like it's a flex kind of.
It is. There's a lot more. There is a lot of luck. I'd say it's like 40% luck, 60% skill. So I mean, you can lose to horrible players, and it happens all the time. You know what
100%.
I mean?
But it's not as just like black and white as like banker player type or red and black on a roulette table.
No, you're not playing really against the house, bro. You're playing against players. Each other, That's why it's cool.
It's a really complex game. There's a lot of. I was reading books about it. There's like a lot of theory.
Have you seen Rounders?
Yeah.
Watch Rounders and then you'll want to play poker.
After Rounders?
I watched that a while ago.
It's the best movie of all time. It was just before
What makes someone good at that?
So there's a lot of like on the fly math you have to do.
Yeah.
There's a certain amount of like cards of each suit. There's 4 suits. And so you need to be able to calculate roughly the odds of like let's say you have 2 hearts. You need to like know the odds. If there's 2 hearts on the flop, you need 5. And so say I've got like, let's say a 15% chance of flopping a heart, and you have to calculate it against like the size of the pot and do like pot odds.
Yeah.
So there's,
It's all math nerds now, bro.
I get it, but
Like
what's the
robots.
relationship to what someone else is doing? Because you know they always talk about poker face. What's the relationship to that? Like, well, how can you?
If someone's bluffing and they have a tell,
I think the
like
poker.
how he's kind of shaking right now. Which
Well,
I don't know
no,
why
he
you're
kind of has a
nervous.
tick. I wonder if that helps you. The
no,
fucking.
I have Tourette's, so I'm kind
Oh,
of
you
twitchy
do?
all the
Oh,
time.
I'm sorry, I didn't know that.
No, you're good. You're good. You're all good. Don't worry.
Do you, or is this like a?
No,
I
he's
do.
dead
No, I
serious.
do.
Oh,
That's
okay.
why he's doing that. Yeah.
Okay.
I was saying
I
like,
don't
maybe
know.
that helps you.
I am also kind of like ADHD apparently, so I'm very fidgety.
Dude, can I ask you something? And we don't have to keep this in there.
You can ask me anything you want, and let's keep it.
Are you on the OZ?
No,
I asked him.
Dude.
I asked him that on the way here.
I respect the out of you.
thanks, bro.
That's-
so much
So,
more.
but the thing is, like, I haven't
But
seen
you
you guys.
swear.
that.
You swear though.
Yeah.
That's
That's
crazy.
very impressive.
The thing
weight
is, like,
loss
people.
without that.
I'm pro Ozempic though. I think it's an awesome drug, and like, I think it's awesome that there's like, what is essentially seems like a miracle drug that's helping people lose weight, and so I'm very pro Ozempic. Like,
What I want to elaborate on that is there's two ways. I'm pro Ozempic as well, but there's people that try and sell like a motivational, like, yo, I lost all this weight and kind of hide it. And I don't think that's fair.
It's also like a BBL
Because there's
chick.
people, yeah, it's
being
like,
like,
bro,
how to build your
like,
butt.
yo, you have, that's a fake, but you
and
can
then
tell.
sell a program.
Yeah.
So the thing is, I
Ozemp-
agree. There's people like, there's a doctor who was trying to call me out for taking Ozempic, which was really weird. But at any rate, he was saying, does Ethan owe it to his audience to say he's on Ozempic? No. But people like Oprah and I forget the other girl's name, who apparently their whole brand is like health. And so he's like, they're lying about it, which is not fair to their audience.
That's
So
what I'm saying.
There is a category of people that certainly owe it to be honest
Yeah.
about it, for
Yeah.
sure.
That's
But-
my only take on it.
But there
But
are some negatives to Ozempic too, though, for sure. Like muscle wasting, like it's.
I think it shrinks your stomach a little bit, so it probably fucks up when
Well,
you're
shrinking your
when you're
stomach's not
no, but
the-
when you're off it, it'll fuck with your eating habits.
It
even
makes
more.
it harder to maintain the weight, yeah. But it's a little bit muscle wasting. Like there are some definite side effects to
That's
Ozempic.
certainly something probably most people aren't worried about. You're
But-
like
but-
muscle wasting, bro.
No, but it's not even in
Worse
that
than
sense.
death.
Such a gym bro douche.
No,
We're
no,
all like
it's-
normal
Whenever
guys.
when I saw him, I was like, damn, you're f***ing huge, bro.
You guys have
Yeah.
met multiple times, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we've done a
Dude,
show.
are we
done a
gonna
show.
send it after this or what? We need your soundboard.
That's proprietary, bro.
Yeah, what does it say? Like, yo, let's send it. Or what?
Yeah,
Have you ever
something
seen
like
how
that.
he
We
does
have a whole
that?
bunch of you guys.
Bro, they have a ton.
Dude, you've ripped me multiple times.
Yeah.
Yeah, what was
You've
the?
ripped
What was
me
the?
like 5 times, bro.
We gotta.
I've never
squash the
said
beef.
one. I've never said one
So-
negative thing.
So here's what I'll say about that,
Well, which time? Because you ripped me a lot. Which is it's all good, bro.
bro. So here's the thing. Like, I'm kind of like a messy, petty. So I've ripped a lot of people. So I don't specifically remember, but I am in a phase of life where I like am in the mood. Or I think it's good to like build bridges and talk to people who you can connect with. I don't think so. Is there one specifically you recall?
You ripped me for Schultz.
Okay.
Bad, which was a crazy take on your part because I know you didn't watch the whole thing and you were going with the majority. I personally think.
Can I? So
Yeah,
I have
yeah,
a
yeah.
response to that. You're right. I agree. At the time, I feel like you guys are very, for my audience, very hateable, just because like it's just the antithesis of like everything that like our community is, and that's not necessarily a fair assessment. I think looking at Nelk fairly, you guys are obviously representing like a more bro-y culture, but like that's not necessarily bad. And so I think my criticism of you guys really started around like COVID, around like opening the gym and like having like riots outside of Martyn's gym. But like now that stuff's passed by and like, you know, I appreciate that everyone was kind of doing their best to navigate through those really crazy times. So I've become less judgmental, I think, in that regard. And in some cases, I was too harsh on people for sure. But it was a crazy time.
Yeah, you
So-
were harsh as fuck on me on that.
So I'm gonna
Wow,
get.
Well, what did he
actually, like-
say?
Wait, I'm gonna get to that.
I was just watching this shit and I was like, because I was already going through it because I was so new to the game at that point. And obviously, when you're the new guy and you have Schultz is a massive comedian, people are going to always side with the bigger person probably
Sure, yeah.
because they want to do it. But like that's also another problem with influencers in general is like they want their audience to agree with the majority. So that's how I felt.
Yeah, and I'm building towards an apology.
Okay, I'll let
I
you
am.
continue.
So like, yeah, I think I had some bias and prejudice against the Nelk boys. Other than the COVID, I think you guys did some weird like Rubet stuff. I don't even know if you were part of the gang by then. That seemed kind of scammy, but like that's all been long ago. And creators, I mean, what creator isn't running a scam these days? Pound it, bro.
Crazy. That's a crazy
I'm not counting those
non-apology
scams.
apology.
No, I'm not. I didn't
Holy
apologize
shit.
yet. I didn't apologize yet.
That was
That's
funny.
just a joke. That's just a
That
joke.
was funny.
But so,
By the way, I don't have a Rubet deal.
no, I know. I was just kidding. I was just trying to incriminate Nelk.
But I would take it Rubet if you're out there right now and their bag makes sense. No, I'm kidding. But go ahead.
So, at any rate, I think that I was just riffing off that and being like, "Who the f- is this Steiny guy?" and trying to be funny mostly.
Sure.
But I think what changed is I've learned a lot about Schultz, and I think he's actually an asshole and also
what
a
makes
giant
you
douche.
think that?
I've seen the way he talks to his guests. He's been in things with like a few guests where he just comes off as such a asshole. And I mean, I off the top of my head, I can't list them. I could certainly recall them if I thought about it for a minute. But when I go
I'll
back
tell
and
you who
watch
it is.
yours,
Whitney Cummings. I
that
think.
one was just
Shane
so
Gillis, maybe.
well. And then the one where he was trying to pressure academics to take the.
I didn't see that one. See, that's my whole thing.
It was
is-
really like so. Anyway, going back and watching that interaction, I feel like I can see it more clearly that like he's being such a colossal douche to you.
Yeah.
And totally unwarranted. I don't know why he had to. So I'm on your side, and I apologize, especially if you're going through it.
You see what's happening right now?
I
Yeah, it's
I
dope.
do hate to make people feel worse when they're in a bad spot, and like you didn't really deserve. You didn't do anything wrong. You know, you were
Okay,
just
but
sitting
wait.
there.
Can I ask you this?
Sure.
I think that a lot of people are starting to say that online and like are noticing what you're just noticing.
I am not connected with that at all. I
Okay.
have no idea what
so
people
you're
are
not
saying
seeing
about
like the
Steiny.
trending, and you're going with no. I mean what they're saying about Schultz.
Oh, I don't know what
'Cause a
people
lot
say
of
about
people are
Schultz
kind of-
either.
there's
Well,
some
who gives a if people are hating Schultz? I mean, then why doesn't that necessarily mean that he's a giant douche?
Yeah, no. I was just curious if like this is something you're actually going
Yeah.
with the trend, or this is a genuine.
No, it's a genuine feeling. I feel like that one is more. That's a sourced, informed opinion that I don't like him.
My only beef with Schultz is that I went on his podcast almost 3 years ago now, and he's like, "Yeah, when I come to LA, I'll come to yours," and he hasn't.
That's the kind of guy he is. He's a big time guy. Like all of a sudden, he won't shut the f- up about selling Madison Square Garden and like that he acts like he's the biggest coming
I'm gonna tell you what.
to comedy, and like he'll do your show or you'll do his show, and then a year later he's like, I'm too big for Bradley. He's that kind of guy.
Yeah, I will tell you. I watched his. We had 3 hours notice of doing Schultz that day.
Oh,
So
That's
and we were
interesting.
doing Happy Dad launches. So we were driving liquor store to liquor store, entertaining fans, getting f***ed up, and I'm sitting in the car watching. He just had a special, I think, on Netflix, and it was hilarious. So I was so excited. Mm-hmm. And I remember I just asked him one question that I think he took as, and I think this is a genuine problem that we have sometimes. I did a video with Steve, and we went to like the studio. There were a few rappers there, and I think there is that fear that like, are these guys f***ing with me? Because historically, there's pranks involved. Like they can't tell what's genuine and what's not. So I think that could have been going through his head a little bit.
Sure.
So he's like, "Yo, are these guys f***ing with me or not?"
what did you ask him that set him off? I don't remember.
Dude, I asked him because like I've gone to the Comedy Store 100 times. Like I've watched this shit. I watch all this clips on TikTok. Like I see how they work with like crowd work. And I asked him if he ever genuinely had offended like a heckler or like, because you know you always see this stuff and you can't tell if it's real or not sometimes.
Yeah, I can understand why he didn't think that was an amazing question.
Yeah, but I mean it's not like no, but it's not. I'm not trying to get him in trouble. But I'm like, yo, have you ever like actually? Because he will get edgy. Like if you watch some of his stuff.
But I think the obvious answer is yes, obviously. If people are
so. Then
heckling
why is
him,
it a
they
big
say-
deal to just be like, yeah, I have?
No,
like,
you're
you know?
right. He didn't. That's the thing. So, in my experience of interviewing people, there's like two different types of interviewees. There's like generous interviewers who will like sit there and participate in the interview and like help it move along smoothly, won't make it awkward, will like try to step in on like dead air, quiet moments to help. And then there's people who just sit there and they won't help you at all. Like very, very ungenerous hosts. And I feel like in that moment, he was being very ungenerous as a co-host for the show, and just kind of.
Well, and what I will say on that is, looking back, I don't regret any of that shit. And I will tell you, when he did a bunch of shows in Abu Dhabi. I don't know if you saw that.
Didn't see it.
But he asked like a crowd things like that crowd things that I was like, wow. And their reaction, they were laughing. In a million years, I never thought.
What was he asking?
I can't remember, but there's a certain clip where I'm like, holy, like he said something pretty edgy to like an entire like Muslim-based crowd, and they laughed and like they were having fun with it, which I was kind of shocked by.
That is, that's impressive.
So that's kind of why I was like, I'd seen that before, and that's looking back, I'm like, well, dude, that question kind of makes sense. But that's where I think.
Well,
and by the way,
because hecklers are obviously by their nature going to be upset.
But that's an interesting thing.
If you're
an asshole kind of if you're a heckler.
I think maybe like what's the like? Have you ever like? I'd be interested. Has it ever gone beyond heckling? Like, have people sought you after the show, or like how mad do people actually get at you?
Yeah,
because you know. But anyway, it doesn't matter. You can ask exactly. You can ask bad questions. It's not like the end of the world. You got to learn somehow.
Yeah.
I sucked at podcasting for the first like 5 years.
So you're saying I was bad for a while?
I haven't seen any. I mean, certainly it wasn't a great question. But that's okay.
Funny.
But that's okay.
Dude, your kick
That's
10
the
for
one
10.
that-
I mean, I didn't have a lot of support or help on there.
They forgot to have me
you.
on there. They didn't have me on that one.
Steve's didn't said I think 3 words, and Kyle was
That's
trying
true.
to wonder what the is going on right now.
Bro, that's true. I mean, listen, that was you stepped in.
I tried
and took
to
a
help,
shot.
and I took a shot, bro.
No, you
can't
did
throw
nothing
shit down.
wrong. You did nothing wrong, bro.
Dude, it was either I stay silent and we all miss.
So what
or
are we
I take a
gonna
shot.
do about it? We're gonna him up. You know
I've
where he
thought
lives?
about doing.
I'm just kidding.
No, I've thought about like a couple funny things we could do, but I mean, I'm kind of over it at this point. Who gives a?
Yeah,
like,
you can't hold a grip. Well, he got in a beef with somebody.
He's got a beef
Wait,
with a
hold
lot of
on.
people.
Somebody was having a text. Oh, it was Jeff Wittek. Did you see their conflict?
Bro, you don't think Jeff, which I've seen you've done some stuff.
Jeff's a buddy of mine.
He texted me
We're tight.
immediately.
Yeah,
was
me
like,
too.
Yo, now I see your side of things.
I felt like he was so gross and condescending. It's just such a colossal
To
asshole.
Jeff?
First of all, the way he came after Jeff really rubbed me wrong. And then his reason ultimately was that like Jeff said some mildly insulting thing about him like previously, and he was holding a grudge for it. I don't
And
know.
this was on some paywall shit, right? Like he put it on a paywall when he talked about
No, it was leaked by Jeff.
But the episode where he was talking about Jeff was
that
behind
was a
a paywall.
Patreon.
Oh, I
think.
don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, it was? Yeah, I don't know.
I think that was like the clip of him hating on Jeff for talking about Dobrik was a marketing move to get you to the Patreon,
Oh, you think so? I'm always surprised.
Which in
when
and of
people
itself
think-
is interesting.
which is
I mean,
that's a good marketing plan. I'm not gonna deny that.
yeah, I guess so.
Well, you got Jeff to respond. It went pretty viral.
But
so I think
I
there
thought it was so f***ing classless how he's like, "Ooh, stop crying about almost dying," and it's like, well, not really. I mean, Jeff was like
the reason I think
very
it's
recently-
classless is because I think that Jeff and him talk off camera frequently.
Yeah,
Because I did Jeff's barbershop and him and Mike were like FaceTiming at Schultz while he was doing a show, so he wasn't answering. They're like, yeah, that's our boy.
mm-hmm.
So I think that if you're a genuine person in this space, like I'd text Brad, yo, if I want to post something, like the other day I say, yo, bro, I'm going to throw this up. You cool with it?
Yeah.
So it's always cool to hit up your boy first. So that route of doing it is different.
Also, he went after like the one thing that would like really like the one thing he shouldn't have gone after. If he wanted to talk shit
Well,
on
you can't
Jeff,
really talk shit about Jeff or anything else. You guys. I mean,
Go
now I'm
on.
gonna get all the gay, but
you want to Jeff.
No,
You're not
it's
the only
okay,
one.
bro.
dude,
Yeah, it's okay,
now,
bro.
No,
He's
this is
hot as
not where. Okay, actually, you know what? That's it. You could go with Jeff for a lot of things. He just chose that one.
No, you want to Jeff. Bro.
Dude,
You're not the
it's
only
all
one.
good, dude.
Get in line,
I
brother.
mean, dude, he's like, we went on a run to Miami. Like, the guy's a stud. I'm not gonna lie. There was
You fell in
multiple
love on
times
that
on this
day.
run on the boardwalk where chicks would seriously turning heads.
Yeah.
And it wasn't because of me, bro.
Yeah, I know.
You
It's
just
not
look
fair,
down
is
at his
it?
abs. You're like, wait a sec.
Well, he's shirt off. Like, it's like out of a
I wouldn't
movie.
run with him. Again, that's brave. I
Yeah.
wouldn't fucking run with him shirtless.
No, I'm not doing that ever again. That was embarrassing.
That's like
because
the-
I also make him look even way better.
Yeah, that's the equivalent of you getting in the lion's den with Schultz. You took a jog with Jeff Wittek,
Exactly.
shirtless, and you're a brave man.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Proud of you, dude.
Yeah, we're proud of
Like,
you.
genuinely. All right, guys, quick and orange for the podcast. This pod is sponsored by BetterHelp. I've talked about this, but it is never not a important thing to talk about. Mental health. A lot of us, obviously get input from people around us, people in our circle, people who a lot of the times are somewhat biased on our situations or on what's happening with us because of their relationship to us. But BetterHelp is a platform. It allows you to speak directly to someone about what's going on in your life. That's not going to have biases. It's super simple to use. You don't need to drive to go see, a therapist somewhere. You can do it from the comfort of your own home. I strongly recommend if you've ever thought about talking or looking to talk to someone or trying to get advice or just, again, a different perspective on whatever you're trying to figure out, then your existing circle is always going to help you, whether you figure it out the first time or it gives you some sort of nugget of information or wisdom to continue on and like just get past whatever you're trying to get past. It's really helpful. Go to betterhelp.com. That's betterhelp.com/RAWTALK to get 10% off your first month right now. Again, let's get back into this podcast.
I want to ask one thing. You and Steve went at it.
We kind of mended through Bradley a little bit. I was looking forward to.
I wish he was fucking here, and I wish he could.
He's going to be here soon.
Yeah, no, he's going to be here on the 10th.
What does that mean? He's out of town?
Yeah. He's going to come.
He's in my crib now.
He's going to come and move to LA for a little bit.
Where's he live?
Florida.
Oh.
He'll come for a few days. We'll stay at one of our houses.
I thought don't y'all have to be together to do all the shit, you guys?
Dude, we come together, we travel, we do.
Where do the other guys live?
Miami.
Oh,
So Kyle, Salim.
So you're in LA.
I stay in LA, yeah.
Oh, why don't you move to Miami?
It just didn't make sense for me personally, like with what I was trying to do. Like with my own podcast, I do IG videos, and it just everyone's kind of in LA.
I see.
And also, I lived in Miami for 2 years, and I learned really quickly that from March to September, everyone leaves Miami.
Oh,
It's
interesting.
115 degrees. No one is. It's a ghost town there.
Interesting. Okay.
And everyone comes here in the off season. You have athletes, rappers, whatever. They all come here. So for me, it just made more sense. So I did like a short term lease here.
Cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. But what I was gonna say is, did that slow you down at all? Because Steve's a fucking savage.
Slow me down how?
What do you mean slow down?
Sorry.
He jerked off his dog. I mean, that was
Okay,
iconic.
wait. That's
bro.
so
He's the cool dad.
Yeah. So you commented on that. And,
That's
and
the
then
funniest.
he said crazy.
I don't remember what he said, but I wasn't offended by it, and I was totally cool to talk to him about it.
Did you guys ever talk about it?
A little bit through Bradley.
Yeah.
Or no, we talked in DMs actually on Twitter that we were trying to set up to meet.
He wanted to go do a podcast. He wanted to go do his podcast.
But it never worked out for some reason. But I honestly I feel the same way about Steve. I don't think, he's a degenerate, obviously, but not in a bad way.
yeah, that is hilarious.
He's a
I
good.
don't know how that makes any sense.
Well,
He's a
it's
good
pretty
degenerate.
How can you be a
accurate, though.
degenerate and not in a bad way?
It makes sense.
No, it does if you know
No,
Steve.
if you're a degenerate, it's a
No,
bad
he's
thing.
he's a good degenerate. But
Yeah.
that's not a reason.
He's
I'm
a
friends with-
good-hearted degenerate.
Yeah.
There we go.
And and there's nothing wrong with his lifestyle is pretty nuts, but there's nothing wrong with what he does, not immoral. Again, it just goes back to the same stuff that I kind of had these preconceived. I was a Nelk racist, bro.
I know you were.
Just
I didn't
because
ever
of that.
see you. I haven't seen
Because of the
I've seen you
reasons
go
I
on-
listed
I've seen
before,
you
yeah.
go at Steve, and me obviously, but I never saw. Did you ever go at Kyle?
Not really. I don't think so. I had a really.
He's not as easy to go after because
He's kind of more reserved, right?
he's reserved.
Yeah.
He's smart. He's not gonna give you.
I
that.
went after him once, a long time ago, before Nelk was really Nelk. He had done a pizza delivery prank.
Okay.
It was a long
yeah,
time
I'm
ago.
not even familiar with it.
Where they were just a prank channel. But we were just goofing on that video, but that was 10 years ago, so I don't even know if that even
So
counts.
when you do go kind of at these people, how much of it is for the content, and when are you actually pissed off?
I'm very rarely actually pissed off, I would say. I think I look more pissed than I am. I think the people that watch the show kind of get what I do. But certainly if I was on the receiving end of some of the stuff I say about people, I wouldn't take that kindly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that I don't like that's a byproduct of what I do is that it's hard to go out.
What, people are gonna get you or something?
No, I'm not afraid I'm gonna get beat up, but it's just it's always awkward everywhere I go. You
Yeah,
know what
bro,
I mean?
you're not getting
If I go to
anxiety
a
from this
award
shit?
show, if I go to house parties, if I go to anywhere, YouTube events, it's like gonna be awkward.
Yeah.
Do I get anxious? No, I don't get anxious, and I don't really even care that much about it. Sometimes I feel bad about it, like, but I think I have some level of like autism with Tourette's, with ADHD, which is not good. I'm being sued by a billionaire right now for defamation, and that's been happening for 3 years. So that's not like a bombshell or anything.
Though.
So like,
it's obviously a famous billionaire.
he's Ryan Kavanaugh. He's the
Oh, I remember this.
yeah. He's a giant fucking
Wait,
loser.
why do I not know? Why do I know the name and I can't put a face
So
on
he
Ryan
was
Kavanaugh?
the former president of
Is he the guy that
Relativity.
blacked out like 40 times? He was in court and
No. I don't know who that was, but no.
Okay.
He was the founder and the I think the CEO of Relativity Media, which was like a massive production company that he utterly abjectly bankrupted in a move of sheer business incompetence that can only be described as the highest level of incompetent loserness imaginable. And then he invested in Triller, which
I like how he double triples down. Yeah, it's a Triller
so
guy.
that's not I know him. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Does
and
Triller still exist? It's out?
I haven't seen anything about it.
somehow they're still alive, but I can't imagine for much longer. And so again, a good commentary on his business acumen is that he went from bankrupting Relativity Media to investing in Triller.
Got it.
So yeah, he's suing me anyway for some dumb shit, but it's fine. It's normal.
But in lawsuits of defamation, it's like you have to prove that the things that you're saying aren't true, right?
Defamation lawsuits are pretty tricky, especially in California, where we have like extremely strong what's called anti-slap laws. And these are like really generous laws to the people being sued for defamation to prevent people like Ryan Kavanaugh and rich, powerful people from using lawsuits to like basically block free speech.
And silence people.
Silence people through free speech. So it gives you a relatively easy way to get rid of defamation lawsuits and also to recoup lawyer costs. So that's kind of what we're going through the anti-slap process right now.
It's I don't have much more to say on that. But there is one thing I was thinking about.
Go ahead, we can change.
Dude, like even last night I couldn't even sleep.
You want to
So I
talk more
think
about
this-
Jeff?
No, because I think about this podcast and I'm just like, is there any part of you? Because I've seen there's a lot of creators out there that just go at people.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes I agree, sometimes I don't. But I think that it's kind of like a talentless form of way of getting engagement.
Yeah.
Do you ever think like, yo, it's all negative? Like, who do you speak highly of?
Jeff, bro, you've seen him shirtless.
Besides Jeff. Yo, shut up, bro.
He's hot as
Yeah,
bro.
okay. We got Jeff. Jeff, you're good, bro.
Yeah,
You ever think like, yo, man, I'll switch it
I have
up and I'll speak highly of this guy.
I have lots of friends of the show. I have lots of people that I respect, that I admire in the space. But obviously, I'm definitely like, I can't hide the fact that I'm like a drama YouTuber.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It is what it is. The thing is, people go, oh, he's changed. I mean, I got famous doing these commentary videos on YouTube. I don't know if you guys watch those.
Yeah, I remember.
But like,
I haven't seen those. Will you tell me?
I was...
So like reaction videos?
I made huge. I used to make like really big commentary channels. I would make one video or commentary videos. I'd make a video a week for a few years, and it was big. It's my main channel, H3H3 Production. So if you want to see the stuff, it's there still. But I was doing the same thing back then. I was just being like a catty, but I was more like organized and thoughtful about it because it was filmed and edited.
Mm-hmm.
But now it's just
live.
it is what, and like obviously I make mistakes sometimes, and I don't like that, sometimes, what's your question?
No, just like
Is it easy engagement? Yeah, definitely.
like you see like the negative shit just goes crazy, but then it's just like it sucks that it is that way sometimes. Like you
But
gotta throw shade at somebody, start a beef, get some views, get some clicks, when it's like I'd rather see someone really be funny or creative and really just like that route. It's gonna be harder.
Me too. Me too.
Yeah.
If I could make my whole, so I was making my career, I think, being creative and original and creating, but it was like art creatively and artistically, it was a lot more fulfilling, but it wasn't for me sustainable.
Yeah.
So I tried I try to be like real about my criticisms of people in general.
No, yeah.
So like on one hand, But yeah, I mean, I have a ton of respect for people that like just get out there and make creative works and don't like talk or get in the way. Like that's a good way to be, and I'm fully aware of that. And you know,
I mean, I had respect for you too, because I felt like I watched the whole thing, but I didn't. But I saw every single clip of you with Fresh and Fit.
Oh yeah.
Which was that on your platform?
Yeah, it was on our show, on our podcast show.
And the clips that I saw, it seemed like you were very, very prepared.
Yes.
Very, very prepared.
Yes.
And they were scrambling a little bit. And I don't know. You know, I got love. Like, I've seen these guys. I met these guys. I lived in Miami. Myron and Fresh. Seen them off camera. They're good people. But it seemed like that Fresh scandal, did that come out right after your pod?
It was live.
No, but you remember when he had like his situation?
Oh, with the girl Daisy. Yeah,
Did that come out after the pod or before?
I don't remember. I think it came out right after.
So
it came out right after.
I'll give you props because it's like that's not easy. If you're gonna talk shit about someone, at least you give them the opportunity to like, yo,
dude,
come on.
that's one of my favorite things when I have like go in on someone. It's one of my favorite things is to bring them on the show and talk about it. Like I feel like I can stand on my and I do prepare. I've done a lot of those debates, and I've invited like a ton of these alpha dudes that I shit on, and a lot of them just out. It's like, dude, they spend all day calling me a beta, but it's like who's out from trying to back up
what about
you believe
Sneako?
in.
Didn't he recently call you out to do some debate?
Sneako is like, so I would debate.
I genuinely don't like Sneako.
The thing is
that
well,
I think
obviously,
is
right?
fair. Yeah.
That's obviously. I mean, he's like. I mean, how can I like him? He's like a Holocaust denying Nazi. He's like actually like a Nazi. Like
Yeah,
that. I'm not even like being silly when I say that. Like he is a Holocaust denying conspiracy
That
theorist.
makes it tough for me too, because I am Jewish and like
Steinberger.
Yeah.
Is that your full name?
Steinberg, but you didn't even know it.
That's
but,
funny.
Sneako's
I totally
always
guessed
been
that,
such
by
a
the
good
way.
friend to me off camera. So it's just like that's what I'm telling you. I don't know what's genuine, what's not.
I would love to talk to Sneako. In his specific, I did a lot of like Holocaust debating with Fresh and Fit, and it was pretty disturbing just how like down the conspiracy hole they are with specifically with Jewish
You
people.
think that's real though, or is that for like we were talking about engagement?
Why
Let's be real. Well, I'll tell you why. Because there's a lot more Muslims out there than there are Jews.
Listen, if it's fake, I don't give a. He's still saying it. He's
Sure.
still denying the Holocaust online.
I haven't seen him do that.
Oh, bro, ask Myron how many people died in the Holocaust. Call him right now and ask him. Call him right now and ask him.
Let's make this as positive as possible.
Call him.
All right. Well, at any rate,
I don't know.
I would think about debating Sneako. The only thing with him is that like he's such a piece of shit that I don't even know if the conversation's worth having. But I do think that it would be. I genuinely, I'm thinking about it. I think it could be good. He's
You
the
gotta
only.
do it. You gotta do it. Because he
Go ahead.
he mentioned to me that he had said that he wanted to, and then you didn't want to do it.
So what happened was,
Like recently.
yeah, something happened where I was calling him out on the show, and I think we had both said like, oh, let's debate. And then I think there was just not a lot of enthusiasm about it on my team and in the audience, just because like he is actually just a gross, terrible human being. Also teabagged. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but he's like mega alpha, and he's been teabagged by a man, balls in his mouth, basically, while his
Wait,
girl was getting. You didn't know? You don't know that story?
Well, I know
Who's
about
that?
it, but I don't know about him getting teabagged.
Yeah, basically, he said he was going down on his girl while a dude was fucking her from the back, and his.
He said those words.
Or no, sorry, no, I got it wrong. He was fucking his girl as a dude was under him. His balls were right on a dude's face, so he was
When
teabagging
did
another man.
He
I
said
don't
those
think
words?
Sneako ever. That might be AI. I can never picture
Bro,
Sneako.
let me pull it up.
I can't picture Sneako saying that.
No, I cannot. Yo, can you pull this
That's
up?
got to be AI.
Hold on,
It
how
has
can
to be AI.
Wait, hold on. You guys are gonna love this. You guys
Because I know that he's talked about that before, but not
Sneako,
this
even though you hate
detail.
my people, bro, I try and fight for you, but
You shouldn't,
You're making
bro.
it-
Why you got to prop up people that want your whole?
I'll tell you because ever since I started in this game, he respected me and he with me. And
Okay.
so I appreciate.
I see.
I appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
The thing is, like with these guys like Myron and Sneako, I can see that like they can be loyal and good friends, right? And so these are admirable qualities in people that's respectable. And so if they've been good and loyal to you, I totally understand wanting to ride for them. But ultimately,
I honestly, I don't know where you see it too. I don't even think Sneako's on Instagram, and that's probably the only app I ever use.
Is there a way I can show you something? Oh, you can. Yeah. Do that one. That one. Yeah.
So the arrangement. This is the problem.
Do you know
Have
the
you guys
times?
seen this?
The arrangements of our relationship.
Oh my God, you're gonna love this.
I can go and like once in a while use a condom and like one night stands, whatever, and then she can go on dates, but she doesn't have sex with them. She just likes to be taken out of date.
Negotiate that.
Because that's
How long ago was this?
New York.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Not that long ago. A few years.
It took a while to get there, but currently that's
What year?
and it's working pretty
2021.
well.
Yeah, a
it's not
few years.
really fair. Like I gotta do what I want. So we went to a couple different orgies, sex parties.
Oh, word.
Yeah.
Is this guy rubbing lotion on his legs?
Wait, what?
This gets so good. Trust me.
Yeah, I mean, so I was like, let me.
Let's go all the way back. Let's go all the way back. So,
No.
you were around naked niggas? Sword fight?
No. What?
Yes.
You were around naked men?
Yeah.
Nigga, you a totally different nigga now.
His friends are so shocked by this.
When you brought him to the top floor of... I didn't go to the top floor.
You go to Glory Hole. That was 70% men.
Did we go to the top floor? John, did we go to the top floor?
Why do you know about the top floor?
John, did you go to the... Because me and him stayed down. Me and him did not go to the top floor.
You said you've been there before, though.
I've never been to the top floor. Anyway, when you went up there, you said something... You said something to the nature of whatever happens, happens.
What?
Yeah, so we go in there with the mentality that whatever happens inside that party just stays at the party. Like,
Yeah.
And so I saw her. I've seen her fuck other men, and it's just like that
You
was.
seen it?
Yeah, I saw it like literally right.
Can't be no
Now, if you pause it for a minute.
You came.
Now, I'm not one to judge people's sexual private life, but this is a guy who preaches alphaness and calls women sluts and like thinks that like he believes in like chastity and all this. And here, keep going. It gets worse.
But you don't believe people can change, though, no?
I do believe people can change. Yeah.
'Cause I don't think he's
But
the
is he?
same-
Do you think he's someone that is like?
I know he's not doing this no more. I don't believe so.
No.
And I think he's talked openly about the fact that like this wasn't the best.
If he's talked openly
choice.
about this, then that's different.
He has.
You
Yeah.
sure?
You're sure about that?
Yeah.
He's
you sure
talked about
that?
this,
Let's
yeah.
keep watching it. Let's keep
Yeah.
watching it. It's good.
That's fantastic.
So I wanted to break this down, like, because this was imagine seeing a girl you love, like, get. Yeah, I do. I love
The way he said that, I couldn't.
I love my queen.
Wait, how long ago was this, Justin?
3 years.
By another man.
What happened to the other
21.
Are there rules to like how big the nigga dick can be? There has to be. There has to be, because if it's 10 inches, it's not happening. It's gonna.
That's not fair.
It's not. Yeah, you're right. It's not fair to you because you have to follow that actor. That's crazy.
You can't say not that dick. You can't pick and choose dick.
Yeah, you can.
You can't be.
Hey, that's a good cutoff, dog. You shouldn't even be random women with 10.
What should you be doing with 10 then?
You should be keeping that to yourself.
What?
Take it to the circus. I don't know.
So can she enjoy it? Like, what if she's enjoying it too much?
That's the thing. Like, yeah, it's like she's moaning pretty loud. Like, I don't know, like how much you. I didn't expect you to
She was more loud.
Huh?
She was more loud.
So all right, so we went on two different. Hold on. We went on two different occasions. The first time, crazy. The first time, as soon as I saw like 3 pumps in, I just got up and walked. I'm just like, I can't do that.
That's literally just.
Then he went
seen
back.
Okay, yo, can you pause it?
Then he went back. That was the first time.
I don't know. This whole thing is like now I'm mind blown.
You didn't know about this?
No,
He's talked about this.
I don't pay that
I
much
don't know.
attention
What
to
did he
it.
say about it? I'm curious.
I
don't know.
I think he was essentially saying like it wasn't something that, looking back, that he would ever do again. That it was a good idea and all that.
I'd be curious if Sneako lends that generosity to people who he thinks are immoral or degenerates or, you know,
You mean
any
the
of
same
his
sort of?
enemies.
I see what you're saying.
Because this is not only people can change, yes, but like this is undermines everything he believes in, and it gets worse. Please watch. Keep. You can do times 1.5, so maybe it goes faster. Or like, yeah, that's cool.
Sneako went out, so we were supposed to swap another couple, but I wasn't with his girl. And
So that's swingers. That's not really important for you.
no, sorry, it was
more than just
it was.
Right, ugly girl to take.
That's a crazy guy.
You know you're not going to fuck your girl.
Well, you already missed so proposed it, was that your solution to like trying?
I think it was both of our ideas. We saw something in that show, Sex Life on Netflix. Like, they went to a swinger party. Like, oh, we could do that. And especially because we do threesomes all the time. She's not even that bisexual. So it's like I kind of feel like she's putting on a show a little bit. So I'm like, if I'm able to go and have one night stands and be having an open relationship, and she can only go on dates, this is the place where she can exercise an open relationship. Like, it should be fair that she can take other dick if I'm the pussy.
Equality.
It's balanced. So if it's gonna happen,
Well, there he's preaching equality. There, you got to agree with him. There.
Yeah, I agree. It's certainly not his opinion now either.
He said if I'm gonna do it, she gets to do it.
Yeah,
so
certainly
you
not
got to
how he
agree.
feels.
There's something we can agree on there.
I'm not
He did
liking
say
any of this.
equality.
I'll be honest.
Keep going, bro. Keep
I
going.
hate all of this.
Keep going.
It's all.
This is honestly,
fucking-
yeah, making me a little uncomfortable. Not gonna
This is
lie.
one of my favorite clips, my friends.
It's worse if she happens behind my back. Like, I don't want it. It's not y'all both knowing that it's happening.
So it's never behind your back anymore. You just gotta know.
I gotta see
You
it.
don't even be literally in front of you.
It was literally like this far away from me.
What?
I love how his friends are consistently shocked.
With his girl, he was my girl.
What's on the bed?
That's the most cuck that I've ever heard, dude.
That's what they call it. You sat on the bed while she got fucked.
I was there too. I mean, I got up.
Were you his girl?
It was not.
So pause it. This man was sitting on the bed as his girlfriend was getting arrailed by King Dong and like literally crying. Dude, that's like the worst cuck story you could ever dream. And I'm saying if this happened to me, I would take this to the mother-loving grave. But he's out here like...
He owned it. He did own it.
Well,
He did
keep
own
going,
it.
keep going, keep going.
I don't
keep
want to
going.
watch any more of this.
No,
we
come on, come
we
on,
get
come
the
on.
gist of it. I think we get the gist
No,
of
no,
it.
no,
right?
no, no,
Like,
no, you didn't.
Okay.
A little bit more, a little bit more.
She was like, and I was just like, not doing it. And I was like, yeah, I left the room. And then she left too, like, luckily. I thought she was going to stay with her. Why you leave the room? I couldn't, like, I was literally having PTSD watching that. I was like having war flat. Like, I just started, could not do it, could not do
So
it.
did they get you out of your cheating ways?
What position?
No. It was missionary legs up. Like,
Missionary
legs
legs
up. Legs up, yeah.
Oh no.
Staring at her like in her
Yeah,
eyes.
like deep eye contact.
Deep eye contact.
Yeah. And she grabbed me.
Oh, pause it. That part gets me so bad. Deep eye contact, and she grabs his dick and says, "I want you to fuck me."
Bro, I thought I got freaky. This is a all way other level for me.
Yeah. I would never do it. Never. I guess not.
Just a little bit longer, just like another minute, and then I'll let you guys go on this one.
I think I saw a little arch in the toe.
Her toes were curling.
No. Well, no. Okay, so let me backtrack. Before you, so this is how I started. So, this is the thing, I'm nervous as fuck. Like, I'm like, dude, there's mad people here. Let me go. This whole point is like, I'm nervous about it. Okay, let me I literally had PTSD about this. Like, I had bad dreams about this for like a week. Like, I didn't know, I was, what? So we showed up to this swinger party and everything, and everybody, like, we were having drinks, and then all of a sudden, snap, everyone's naked. And then on the floor, on the bed, there's like 40 people. There's like
40?
30, 40 people.
That's still too many people. 15 couples? Where y'all at in the fall?
Yeah, 15 couples, 30 balls, yeah.
Where y'all at?
He counting the balls, y'all.
Yeah, it's a small room. Yeah, it's like a suite, a hotel suite. It's not
This is the part when he teabags another man.
place, not for real.
I feel like we gotta call Sneako, dude. Holy shit.
Call him.
Yeah, call him and ask him first how many Jews died in the Holocaust. Just ask him that.
Notice how he has this rug. Does this not make you feel uncomfortable?
Why? What
the-
about it?
Put 1 and 2 together.
Bro, it's
Ethan, come on. I've mentioned this to him 100 times.
he doesn't like the
Remind you
shape of
anything?
the rug.
The colors, a little bit of the cuts.
What are you on about? What is it? Just tell.
Doesn't look like a little.
He thinks it looks like a swastika.
Oh, I guess I haven't had that vantage point of it.
Now look at it. Now
Bro, it's
Yeah,
not.
I mean,
it's just a random red fucking rug.
That's funny. It's a good bit. I don't. Yeah, I think you're good though, bro. Please, for the audience, Steiny had to bow out of this one, but like we're getting to the teabagging part, and then we can bail.
We'll come and start watching. This couple comes in, they start watching, and then I hear his girl say to the boyfriend, like, lick her clit. And so while I'm like hitting
Here.
her back, he lays down on the floor
Here.
and starts licking her. But think about like the logistics of that. Think about the logistics. Like his head is like under, is like 6 inches, like his eyebrows are like tickling the bottom, and I have to like move, like go like that so I don't make contact because his eyebrows are like tickling. You feel what I'm like here with it, like I'm trying to not touch his head, and he was completely okay with it. Like, and
Yeah.
You were too?
I'm like here, I'm like trying to keep it joking, right? I stopped. Like, I'm like I can't. This is logistically, this is not gonna work.
I mean-
And then, yeah, and then she asked me like, he calls
You
me,
missed the teabagging part.
we don't need to rewind.
Yeah. So that I mean, again, like he's I think like overtly homophobic, and that's the gayest shit I've ever heard. He said a man was tickling his ball sacks with his eyelashes, which is
hell did you
cute.
bring me to,
Which is
Brad?
cute.
What the
You want to call him?
You're two savages here,
Just
bro.
just one thing.
He's a savage, though.
I'm trying to be
Yeah,
positivity only right now.
I don't care. Well, see, that's the problem. You invited me.
Yeah, well, we're gonna do it, dude.
But just first question, just ask him without telling him anything. How many Jews died in the Holocaust?
Oh man, I hope he answers. Called him earlier.
He's getting sorry. I'm busy teabagging another man.
Oh my god.
Oh, I can feel your eyelashes tickling my balls right there.
I feel like we need to get a hold of him because it's like he's not
Yeah,
going to defend himself.
can we
Yo. All right, guys, quick orders for the podcast. Green Chef, check this out. Green Chef is a meal delivery service that allows you to pick the food that's right for you. It comes basically all sectioned like in different packages so that you basically don't have to go to the grocery store. You have no guesswork. You just get the food directly to your door. You don't have to figure out what do I pair this with? They send it all to you. You put it together. It's a real easy way to do it. And right now, honestly, it sounds like they're giving it away for free, but it's 50% off plus 20% for the next 2 months. So honestly, it's like, I don't know if they're just giving away free food, but it gives you a real sure shot to see if you really love it, to continue with them. But go to greenchef.com/RAWTALK50 and put in code RAWTALK50 to get 50% off plus an additional 20% for the next 2 months. If I were you, I would not pass up this opportunity because it sounds like you're just getting free food. And I might even just sign up myself, to be honest, because that's 50. So it's like you're paying 20%, I guess, what you would be paying. I mean, it's kind of insane. But go to greenchef.com/RAWTALK50 to get 50% off when you put in code RAWTALK50 at that URL and an extra 20% off for the next 2 months. Let's get into this podcast. Yo,
wait? Let me talk to him.
Okay, here.
Yo,
Ask it.
you didn't answer my call the other day. I did.
We're on a podcast.
We're on a podcast. I'm staying completely out of this. This is between two people.
Ask it.
Should we have him ask him?
No, not me.
Here.
I don't want him to know.
Ethan is here. Do you want me to ask him? I don't
don't
feel
want
comfortable
to.
asking this.
Okay,
Ask
here.
him?
Yeah.
All right.
Yo, Sneako, I'm gonna tell you.
I
This.
didn't want him to know, but yeah, go ahead.
I've showed you mad love this podcast. I've said, yo, Sneako's been
true.
respectful. Have I not?
No, you've talked very kindly of him.
I said, yo, I respect Sneako. He asked me why. I said, yo, he's me since day one. He's never switched up. So I've said that. But he brings us in here, and now we're watching a clip about you talking about a sex party.
Where the part where some dude's eyelashes tickled your balls. You heard
Here,
that.
I want to do it.
He's talking about this video.
Can they
Just
hear
pointing it
him?
out.
Hold on. Can the audience hear him?
Yeah, if they're on
So he
here.
goes, sorry, what was that? I was like, yeah, you heard me. You heard that.
Okay, what does this have to do with the podcast?
Well, I don't know necessarily how we got here now at this point. I'm a little confused.
Just
but
ask him how many Jews died in the Holocaust.
Ethan wants me to ask you how many Jews died in the Holocaust. I have no idea.
Put the phone up to the speaker. Yeah.
Okay, so what does this have to do with the video? you're
Don't
playing?
answer.
What's,
Don't judge.
What is it? I don't
Come
know.
on, bro.
What are you
Just
trying to do?
answer.
No, so
He's
because
dodging.
I was saying that he should debate you, and then we started talking about you, and then he started like giving his opinion on you, and then he was.
Just tell him instead of playing these clips and trying to do like common snaky tactics, like we could do the debate that he called out for. If he's too afraid to do it, then
Ask
it's fine.
him
Like, he
to
can
stop.
continue to do the same
Can I talk to
tactics
him?
that
I'll
we've
talk
seen.
to him.
Yeah,
I'll give him a
yeah,
five.
Yeah, here.
He's running from a debate that he asked for. So if he's
Ouch.
afraid to do it, then
Hey,
that's
Sneako.
okay.
Use the mic.
You called to do this debate.
Sneako, can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear him? Is it picking
You just got to
up?
put him like this against the mic.
Where's the speaker on the top?
It's on the bottom. The bottom.
Oh, the bottom. Sneako, how many Jews died in the Holocaust?
We'll do the debate that you all called for whenever you want
Just-
to do it.
it's
We don't
such
need to
a
do
simple
this.
question,
I'm not
and-
gonna do this on FaceTime with you.
Why?
You know how I feel about what you talk about and everything you do.
How
I'm
many
you are-
Jews
you
died in the
asked for it, so
Holocaust?
let's
Why?
do it.
That's such an easy. That's like a softball, right?
I mean, I wasn't there. How many?
There you go.
What do you think?
Well, I mean, it's about 6 million, right? Is the general historical estimate?
Yeah, it was exactly that. No more, no less. It was exactly that. Let's do this
Wow,
debate.
that is like
Let's
so.
talk about this then.
That's like the dumbest, lowest IQ take ever. Do you really think people are
if it's
saying?
still, like,
Hold
you're
on,
arguing for
Sneako.
it,
Do you
then
really
you
think
ask
people
for it.
are saying that
If it's more like
exactly
stop
6
running,
million
you call.
Jews died? Like, I
It was
mean,
exactly that. Yeah.
So you're pretty dumb in bad faith if that's where you're starting from.
All right, if I'm so dumb, then do the thing that you call for.
You said you weren't at the Holocaust, so you don't know. You're a Muslim, right? Are you hesitating on that one too? Do you not know?
You know the answer to these questions.
What do you say?
He said, you know the answer to these questions.
Yeah.
Well, were you there when like Muhammad flew a horse, winged horse to heaven?
What are you talking about?
Were you there? Then how do you know it happened? See, we have to, things happen and they're documented historically, and we can't pick and choose what we believe in. Like if you want to actually go through the evidence and see like the meticulous documenting that the Nazis did, they couldn't have kept the records better, but you're going to sit here and say I wasn't there. I mean, you obviously don't believe that you believe the Holocaust was greatly exaggerated. At least admit to that.
Nope, I said it's exactly what they said it was.
It was exactly 6 million, no more, no less.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
And do you still dream about a fellow's eyelashes tickling your balls when you jerk off? Because I bet that felt pretty good. I would
say this to my face when I see you.
Why are you mad? Why are you mad? Because I can imagine that felt really good. I mean, okay. I like my balls tickled.
Look in your wife's eyes and you see that the IDF soldier that's genociding Palestinians. You feel good about that?
Well, it's mandatory conscription, so I mean everybody's.
It's mandatory.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when you're with your wife, you see an IDF soldier.
Say what?
You're happy sharing a bed with an IDF soldier that's genociding Palestinians. That makes you happy?
Well, my wife hasn't killed anybody or participated in like combat, but like I do love my wife. I am
part of the military that's committing genocide right now. You're comfortable sharing a bed with somebody who's participating in that?
She hasn't participated in that.
No, she wasn't a part of the IDF.
Well, she was. She was part of the IDF, as all Israelis are. I love my wife, and I'm very proud and happy to share my bed with her. I'm very critical of the Israeli government, though, and I agree it's terrible what's happening there. Do you want to tell me how many Jews died in the Holocaust, or how good it feels to get your balls tickled with eyelashes? Come on, bro, you know what would be good? Next time, bring like a bird feather. That would be hot as shit. And just tickle the sack with that. That would be really exciting. All right. You seem upset.
What is going on?
You seem upset. You seem upset. Well, I'll let you go.
Massage right now, but when I see you say all this to my
you gonna get a happy ending there or no?
No, I'm not a deviant like you are.
Okay. I'm not a deviant, Mister. You know. Usually I dab up my boys, but you nut up your boys. You go nut to nut with your boys. All right, here, I'm going to hand the phone back to Sneako. Enjoy your massage. You're going to, sorry that you're so mad during your massage. Sorry if I ruined that for you.
No, great, man. I look forward to the debate you're running from.
Well, I literally am talking to you on FaceTime right now. I'm very clearly not running from a debate. You're the one that's like, oh, stop asking me questions you know the answers to. Like, come on, bro.
Yeah, I'm not here to talk about feathers with a 50-year-old man. I'll talk about Zionism when you're ready.
That's all you want to talk about?
There's nothing else to talk to you about. You don't stand for anything and you're a fraud.
Okay. Cool.
This is the build-up.
This is crazy.
Brad, take your phone back before I walk out of here.
Phone back. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, he's...
All right. Thank you.
He's mad. He's upset.
Yeah, he was mad.
Yeah.
He wanted to fight me, you guys.
I didn't know the tension was that high.
Well,
See,
no,
this is why I don't like your
No, but here's the thing.
content spaces. Like,
I don't
that was
get
uncomfortable.
I don't get upset about Sneako. He doesn't bother me. I just think he's a despicable human being that is the antithesis of like everything I believe in. And that's it. I mean, so like there's certain people that I feel fully warranted to go after. And if his response is like, oh, I'm violence, then I mean...
Do you think there's anything good in the things that he talks about?
What good? Well, like for example, what?
I don't know. I'm just saying anything that you've seen. Do you think there is good in any of it?
I don't know. Surely some people get something good. I wouldn't be surprised if there was something good in it, right? Like everybody's got, people wouldn't be listening to him if there wasn't something helpful for somebody. You know? Yeah, probably.
Did you see the conversation that he had with Moist Critical and then the whole like,
Yeah, I wasn't happy with how that went because I felt like Charlie wasn't well prepared to have that conversation.
Yeah.
By the way, that segues nicely into the trans boxer.
Yeah.
You made a tweet
Love
about
to
that.
talk about that. I would love to actually transition.
Well,
into that.
apparently that she was actually
She's a
woman
female.
with
but she had XY chromosomes or something.
more masculine chromosomes.
So here, let me ask you.
You're
some-
obviously like a Kamala supporter, right?
I mean,
I don't mean to say
yes.
obviously, but
I mean, yes, I'm gonna vote for Kamala. I'm not like enthusiastic about anything really, but I'm not. Am I like a Trump supporter? No.
why do you prefer Kamala?
I think that Trump is clearly represents the interests of the wealthy. Like he's literally a billionaire
Why do
in
you
a
say
farmer's
that? 'Cause
outfit.
I'm just curious, and I'm not. You're definitely. I'll give you this. You are more educated. Before I get into this, you're more educated into politics. Here's the three things that I do know.
Mm-hmm.
I pay a load of taxes to this state of California every year.
Yeah.
I don't see this improving whatsoever. Kamala is not going to be the one calling the shots. We know that. Someone's going to be
Why?
telling her what to
Why?
do.
Why? You
'Cause
say
watch her, bro.
Bro, she was like,
says
she had like a super high-ranking
says the
district.
same thing
She's a
that-
very accomplished lawyer. She has like
know how she got her
monster
start, though, right?
credentials. How?
She was dating she was dating Willie. What was his role?
She got
in San Francisco.
She got started from dating someone that made her an
Yes.
accomplished lawyer.
That got her first.
How did you
job
get into Nelk?
politics.
How did you get into Nelk?
Through Bob Menery. I didn't do anything.
So you suck someone's dick to get into Nelk?
I didn't suck no one's dick. I met this guy at a bar and I said, "Bro,
Yeah,
I will grind
people
my
have
ass off."
connections. Like I don't see your point.
Didn't she
No,
fail
my-
the bar?
No, my
Once lawyers fail the bar all the time. She took it again and passed
He's
it.
actually
It's so
right.
stupid.
The pass rate's crazy. So
Yeah.
that he's actually right there. But I will tell
Anyway,
you.
like I'm not in the business of defending Kamala. I think Trump is like
No, but I think that, and I don't mean to cut you off, but I do think
Go
that
ahead.
there's this negative condensation of Trump that is so pushed onto people that is just not true, bro. And I think that
So-
you want someone leading your country who is an entrepreneur, who is a businessman, who will think for himself. I'd rather have a guy who thinks for himself than I picture Kamala in the Oval Office with 10 people. You should do this, you should do this, and she's driving, like, I don't know what it is, but Trump will go with his gut, and I want a leader who's going to be confident in what they do.
So you said you want Trump because you want someone that will go with his gut, whatever that,
That doesn't-
means.
what I mean by that-
and who is a businessman.
I think that's a huge piece of the American dream, being an entrepreneur. And I think that Kamala wants more of a corporate 9-to-5 robotic type America. That's what I think.
Okay, whatever. I don't want to get into this conversation because, like,
Why?
ultimately,
Is it gonna get you heated? I'm just curious. How
no,
you feel.
because I want to talk about the trans boxer more.
Well,
Okay, so then
hold
let's-
on. Before that, let's ask that question that Moist Critical was asked about the 9-year-olds. Like, do you think 9-year-olds should be given like gender affirming care or cutting
that's
off
So
their-
too.
I have thank you for asking that because
Yeah.
that's a very complex question. The thing is, like, no, 9-year-olds should not be getting life-changing sex change operations. But the thing is, it almost never happens. The one exception that I think should be considered is like if a psychiatry and a medical board, if a child has attempted suicide or has shown that they're going to attempt suicide, which sometimes it is that bad, and the doctors conclude like the best way to try to treat that, to keep them alive, literally to save their life, is to perform some kind. But I don't think kids under 18 even get like top or bottom surgery. They'll take like hormone replacement and
well,
stuff
you
like
could
that.
do
That's still-
puberty blockers now.
Well,
Yeah, puberty
the
blockers.
hormone replacement is what he's speaking to, but that's still like very life altering at such a young age.
So apparently taking hormone blockers is not life altering. If you go off it, your body resumes.
But at that age, your body is still.
But I don't think kids should be taking hormone blockers or getting surgery.
because
But the thing is,
Charlie related it to like picking a sport.
but Charlie again, he was not prepared to talk about that topic, and he represented, I think, trans people really poorly.
Yeah.
So there are trans people young trans people who are suicidal and their lives are at risk. I mean, trans people, their rate of suicide, you know what it is of trans people? 50% of all trans people attempt.
But is it before or
suicide.
after the change?
Before.
Before?
Yeah. Yeah.
50%?
50%.
That's their life.
Attempt it.
Attempt it. Okay.
Attempt or die. Like that's pretty staggering.
high. That's how I mean,
so like
clearly mental.
these are one of the most marginalized group of people that are extraordinarily misunderstood and the target of a lot of like culture war right now. And these are people that are already like 50% are attempting suicide. So young kids, let's say a 7-year-old, has tried to kill themselves. So if a medical board and a doctor and a psychiatrist have come together and they're like, he's going to kill himself, then I think in this rare case that we can make exceptions. But you should know that in the United States, and this is why this conversation I think is so.
It's fragile.
I think the conversation is like a monster red herring, because in the United States per year, kids get like sex change operations. It's like single digit.
Yeah,
in
exactly.
The whole country.
Well, that was what I was going to say to you.
It doesn't happen.
We're talking about suicide, right? Like there's a way bigger population of kids, not trans, that deal with the same that we don't give.
What does that have to do with anything?
We don't give them nearly the attention. There's.
You think trans people want the attention? They don't want the attention.
You don't think so?
No.
How
They
can
just
you
want
say-
to live. How can you say that? They just want to live
No, I
their
mean
life
in the
and
sense
feel
where
normal.
it's like it seems like the entire community's pushed on us
Hold
regularly.
on. I don't think you're grasping with this. This sex change of kids, it doesn't happen
Okay.
in the U.S.
So what do you think-
Single digits. So why are people so
So
obsessed
why is
with
Gavin
it?
Newsom? Because
Passing a
Gavin
law.
Newsom's passing a f***ing law, which is f***ing ridiculous, and that's why
What is it?
that now, and please correct me if I'm wrong,
Yeah.
but now that in the school, if a kid goes to a teacher and says, hey, you know, I'm thinking about transitioning, something along those lines, they're not required to tell their parents, which is f***ing bullshit, and it actually pisses me off.
I'm not. I don't.
That's the
I'm not
thing.
familiar with the law.
Yeah, that's something
Like,
they're
how
passing.
the f*** is that a scenario? It's actually
'Cause that's a weird
devastating.
thing.
Well, so
because-
like, what? Imagine. I don't know the law, but let's do a mind experiment with it.
Okay.
Imagine like a 16-year-old from a super conservative family is like, I think I'm gay or trans, and I don't know what to do about it. They're confiding in a teacher who they trust, who understands them like their family doesn't. So, is it possible that like telling this child's family, you can put them at risk, you could put them in like really grave mental. You put them in a terrible situation. You can imagine like a conservative family.
Yeah, no,
What they
that's a
think
good
about
point.
being gay or trans. So I think it's mostly again to protect people on the margins. Again, because there are people on the margins that really do just get it so badly, you know. And I think we're looking to protect those. And I think people who look at this conversation think it's way more common than it is. And it really isn't. Like, I'm telling you, single digits.
And we talked about this, me and Brad, recently, but I'm telling you right now, like we were referencing the boxer. That boxer, Leah Thomas, they give the entire trans community a way worse look.
Why?
Because they're competing.
Do you think she's trans?
Who?
What's the name
I
of
think
the...
Leah Thomas.
Algerian-
I think
the
Leah
Algerian
Thomas.
lady.
What's her name? The Algerian girl?
That one.
It's like a mom something. I'm not sure.
Iman. So let's talk about her.
Well, but that one's not confirmed. Like Leah Thomas, who's
I
the
don't-
swimmer,
Okay.
Who it did transition.
did transition and won every event. Like I think there are certain situations where.
Wait, I don't
These
know
are
why
two
I didn't
sep-
hear about that. I've been focusing on the boxing thing because
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
been what people are talking about.
But
These
I
are two
think that
separate
there's
things.
certain situations where there are people that are that sick that are like, yo, I want to compete and win. And they're willing to go through that. And that gives the entire trans community a bad reputation.
So I
Like,
wish
do you-
I knew more about that so I could talk about it. But can we just discuss the boxing thing?
Yeah, and then I have a question following. But yeah,
Okay, so, do you think that she's trans? Like, what do you think? Do you think she cheated? Like, what's
no.
your-
So from what I understood, looking more into it, was that she is basically a woman with something like Sawyer syndrome or some
type in
some
swimmer.
syndrome that like her XY chromosomes is not normal like a regular woman. So she
Right.
has more masculine
she
features.
might have more testosterone. But so here's
Yeah.
the thing about her. One, it's not even proven. It was like one ruling by some Russian boxing group that was like overruled by the Olympic Committee upon looking. And, you know, there's pictures of her as a little girl. She's lived her life as a girl her whole life. She's never been anything like that, but that. In Algeria, it's illegal to be gay and trans. So obviously they wouldn't send a trans athlete to represent them. And the other thing about it that's a little insidious is that I truly believe her life will be in danger when she goes home.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%.
For something that, frankly, she's a woman. You know, and by the way, if she's so unstoppable,
But she did.
she's lost 9 times to women in her career. She competed in the
I read that as
2020.
well,
So
yeah.
that's a fact.
I read that
So
as
she's
well, yeah.
lost
Dude,
to
she-
women.
dude,
that
she-
changes the whole
Hold
conversation.
on, hold on. She competed in the 2020 Olympics. She didn't even place.
But she's failing these gender tests because of the
She
chromosomes.
hasn't failed any gender test.
She hasn't.
So is there
No.
any scenario where
That's-
she's
that's
taking
hearsay.
something that's giving her more testosterone?
So that's not. There's not.
No,
Certain.
everything about testosterone and the chromosomes, it's all hearsay. But even if she did have the extra,
So then how does that rumor even become a thing?
it was, in my opinion, like I think it was like a Russian propaganda thing. I think they're leaking all kinds of crazy into our society constantly to tear our culture apart. And it's like so odd. It's like fish chum, you know, like the trans boxer that beats up the poor defenseless girl.
Sure.
You know, it's like, and so there was a grain of truth because there was this Russian federation that disqualified her because she failed a sex change. Those guys just had a press conference.
You mean a gender test?
Yeah, gender test.
Yes.
Those guys, by the way, had a press conference today to try to defend themselves. And apparently, I haven't watched it, but I heard it was like just a total chaotic mess where they didn't say anything. And they're like, oh, we can't say anything because of her privacy, which is obviously bullshit. Like, they don't give a about her privacy.
So what's your overall opinion then?
Yeah. So the question is essentially, do you think transgender men or, you know, people who are transitioning saying I'm a woman, they're a woman now, do you think they should be competing in men's sports or women's sports?
I think so. Generally speaking, I think no.
Yeah.
But I do think it's more complicated than like yes or no. For example, like there's certain governments bodies that say like if let's say you're a trans woman, you're a man that transitioned to a woman, and you want to compete in women's sports. So some research suggests, and some governing bodies say like if you've been on estrogen for like 10 years or something, then like you would be at a similar baseline as like your female counter, or not female. I mean, they're all women. They're women counterparts. Your competitors is what I mean. Your co-competitors. So like there are certain sports where,
Well, here's the major issue.
yeah,
If me and you transition and go and compete in the WNBA, no one's going to give a because we're not going to be superior to everybody else. But if you have a legit athlete, college male D1 athlete go to the WNBA, then it's going to be a problem.
Because the hormone therapy,
Dude, they
for
would love
10
to have
years,
us, and I would consider doing that if you want to go.
I
win a
agree. But
championship.
again, I think that's a little cartoonish.
But-
I don't
but-
think that really
but-
happens.
What do
well,
you-
I think
it
this
happened
is
with this chick?
This is an
okay,
example of it.
So I don't know anything about what this
Like this is
is
a male athlete who was a male athlete for a very long time and then transitioned and then just
won
dominated.
everything. In
So-
the NCAA.
Because we're talking
The
this is
NCAA
swimming
allowed it.
specifically, but body structure like hormone changes. Yeah, for 10 years, they're not going to change your bone.
So hold
Like
on.
your-
Was she? When did she transition?
I believe college. She was the first openly transgender athlete to win an NCAA national championship.
The thing is, I wish I had more time because there's always more to these stories.
No, how much time do you have?
I have time.
Okay, good.
I'm trying to get some.
I'm really enjoying this.
I'm not
dude.
trying to bail. I
No, for
genuinely
sure.
I want to have like a holistic convo.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
hell
But
yeah.
like theoretically, if it's just like a dude, a trans woman who's like, okay, now I'm gonna go compete, was before the transition, were they like a mediocre swimmer and then they transition and then they're like getting gold
That's
medals?
exactly what happened with her. Yeah.
Yeah, they're just dominating.
I don't even think she was ranking in the men's, and then she went to the women's.
Because it's just
and won.
also just physical structure that's not just going to completely alter.
We talked
because
about
of
it
hormones.
if Brad went and competed in women's weightlifting.
But that again, so that's okay. The thing about like the trans athlete,
Would you support that or no?
Obviously not. Nobody
Why
would.
though? Because he could be a champion and he'd be our friend.
Yes.
That's true. In that way, I support it because I want the best for
Bro,
you.
what the? Yeah.
Yeah.
We want the best for him, and then we hang out with a Olympian.
We got to speak the why, not me as an
Just
example.
fucking. I think you should do it.
I'm not doing it. Dude.
Why? If
Dude,
it's
I'm
allowed,
that's not
fuck it,
me,
bro.
That's not me. I get the joke. It's not me. I
don't think you're really like
You saying I can get a
thinking
gold
about
medal?
all the perks about.
When
being
did she
gold
win all
medal.
these awards? Like when did this happen? Is this like a recent thing or it happened a few years
Dude,
ago?
you'd get
2022.
more ass as a chick than you do as a dude.
Bro, shut the f- up. That's just bullshit. You're just a dickhead.
Sorry.
I'm trying to read a little bit about it so I can have.
No, you take your time. You're good.
The reason I know so much about her is because we did this was 2 years ago. We did Caitlyn Jenner on the podcast, and she was very, very, very against Leah Thomas,
So I mean, if the facts are as you say, certainly that. But let's
and
see.
she was openly spoken about that.
So apparently the NCAA has guidelines for transgender athletes, including hormone treatment to lower her testosterone levels. So I guess that's like kind of what I was talking about. Despite this, her eligibility and performance sparked obvious significant debate. So it sounds like she did. So the NAACP has sounds like some regulations for trans athletes, which includes them going on hormone blockers for a specific number of years. So she did comply with that. But it does become like a very kind of philosophical question about like, because obviously if you're just talking about like,
Is there any party though that's like,
So,
yo,
hold
this
on.
isn't fair? Sorry, go ahead.
she wins because she has physical
Advantage.
but like, isn't that all sports? Like Shaq, I can't play basketball against Shaq, but like, is it unfair that he gets to play and I don't?
Yeah,
No.
but that's a completely
That's
different
a biological
conversation.
thing. He's playing against biological men that have the same whatever the chromosomes
Yeah,
are. Same
we're talking
testosterone
about
levels.
a dude.
You're talking
like,
about,
that's like I identify now. I'm a woman. She's a woman at that point, but
but he has that physical advantage immediately because he was born a male.
Right.
has that
And,
height, has
the
the
reason
length.
that I get fired
think-
up about it is because
Go ahead. Yeah.
I actually really like, even this year, and I've talked about it, like the WNBA has been the biggest thing it's ever been.
Yeah.
And it's been amazing for women's sports, and you see like this, and it's just like, it's never going to help their case.
I agree that I think there's like a really nuanced conversation having about gender. And I think that this boxer, the Algerian boxer, is like a perfect case. Like, let's say she does have an XY chromosome. Does that make her a man?
Yeah, that's
Well,
I don't
in
know.
that case, no, because she was born and she has a woman's body part, and she just had some sort of deformity, not deformity or whatever it is. It
She was
caused her.
born, well, she's asexual, or what is it?
Is she asexual?
Not asexual, that's not the right word. It's
Asexual
Tra-
means you don't bang.
Yeah, it means
yeah,
you're
yeah,
not,
yeah.
sex.
God, what's the name for it? It's it means she's born with both sex organs, which happens, right?
What? She has both?
Hermaphrodite.
That I think
That's the word.
Wait, what do you mean by
That's
that?
the old school word for it.
Is that wrong in
Wait,
saying
but what
that?
do you
I
mean
don't
you're
even know.
born with both organs?
I think it's fine.
You have a vagina and a penis.
It's
you
called,
could have both those.
That's a real thing. Yeah.
That is not a real
Extre-
thing.
it's
That's
a
a
real
real
yes,
thing.
it is, bro, and it
Extreme-
happens.
Extremely rare, but a real thing.
I don't even
Yeah.
think it's that rare.
That has
Can
to
you
be pretty
Google how
rare.
rare it is?
I've never met. I don't think.
Well, you wouldn't know if you met them. Why would you know?
Trust me, I
You
would,
asked
bro.
to see genitals?
I've partied pretty hard in
You would
LA
not-
and Miami.
You wouldn't know.
You come out with me one night, you might meet.
You're
one.
like, I would know. I'm drunk. I'm faced, dude. I could
One-
totally perceive everything
if
around
they
me
took
perfectly.
that thing up, then f- it.
You
I
wouldn't
wouldn't
know.
even
One, it
notice,
says
bro.
1 in 2,000 children born each year are neither girl nor boy.
Intersex. That's
Intersex.
that's the word. Thank you.
I must have said the old school word.
I think it's fine.
Okay.
It's
Yeah.
just yeah. But intersex is when basically there's like a scale of like there's the penis and there's the clitoris. They both start the same in the development of the embryo, right? And so the asexual lands somewhere in the middle. Like some are more have towards the female genital side and some are more towards the male genital side. So like if you're going to decide is this a man or is this a woman, basically, how do you decide that? And let's take the boxer as an example and say she does have XY chromosome. And she's like, has a vagina, but like also has like, I don't know how it works, so forgive
I
me.
feel like if you're born with both, you're a dude.
Don't they kind of side
you're
towards
like-
one and pick one? Like, and most of the times
well,
they
she
choose
identifies
one?
as a woman and she has her whole life.
But does she have both parts?
I think it's not like a full penis. It's like and correct me if I'm wrong, I think it's like
Well,
a big,
Brad doesn't have like a. He's like.
I think it's
small
like a
pecker,
big
too.
clit
Bro.
situation.
What?
What are you talking about?
Well, I mean, bro, you have a small penis. It's like,
you think I have a small penis?
yeah, go
Yeah,
ahead.
It's
That's
gotta
hilarious.
look tiny because you're so big.
Yeah.
No,
You're covering
pretty
up
funny.
for that little.
I'm just
fucking
kidding.
little
I'm just
powder.
kidding.
You got a
I've-
big clit, is what you got. That's what
so
I
I'm
was talking
saying-
about.
I've never had
You got
complaints.
that big ass
I'll
clitoris,
put it
my
that
boy.
way,
Don't.
bro.
Yeah.
I've never had complaints.
I wonder if Jeff Wittek's had any complaints.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, let's. I'm sure you know.
No, I'm kidding.
What-
So like, I think what happens is it's like a big clitoris type of situation. So it's not a penis as you understand it to be. But
That's such a different conversation than just like.
well, should this person be able to compete?
Well, so I mean, that's a very unique situation, I think, because we're talking about now. Someone.
Well, all these are unique. I don't think there's tons of trans athletes. So let's deal with the real situation and let's actually answer the hard questions about it. This Algerian boxer, should she be able to compete?
If she has a penis, then I don't think so.
It's not a penis as you know it. And she was raised as a girl. She is a girl. There's pictures of her as a little girl. She's been boxing professionally against women for a long time. I mean, she's been professional for a long, long, long time. She's lost fights to
The
women.
fact that she's
By the way,
lost to women is a big.
a lot of
That's
women.
that's a
the thing
big
is,
point.
she's not walking out in the ring like Andre the Giant and bonking them on the head like people make it sound like. You know what I mean? Like she has, like I said, last Olympics 2020, she didn't even place.
nuts.
So like, it's not like she's out here.
How old is she though?
I
Is she still developing? Is
Nah.
the clip becoming a penis at this point?
no, I think she's 25.
It doesn't. I don't think it works that way.
Yeah, I
I
don't think
really
so
don't think it
either.
works that way.
I don't think so.
Well, we got into the whole clitoris penis talk, and now all of a
Yeah.
sudden I can't be involved.
No, dude, you're involved.
No, you're good.
So this is.
You don't have tight time, do you?
No, I'm pretty good on time. I don't have anything to do today. I just have a family.
You have, or what part of town do you live in?
I live in West LA, so it's like a 30-minute drive. I have like probably another 30, 40 minutes.
Yeah, here we go.
Why is he pissing so much?
I don't know. Adderall, maybe.
He was taking shots before the podcast,
That probably too.
which I love. That's so Nelk of him. So it sounds like I'm waiting for Steiny to come back because he said you said she shouldn't be able to compete, but like with all the
If she
information,
has a penis. If she has
She
a
doesn't
fucking
have, like, a
penis, she
penis.
should not be able to compete.
she doesn't have a penis as you understand it. So
Dude, I don't. How is there no understanding?
So if she has a penis, so you pull down, so someone's going to inspect her genitals. How does that work?
I mean, can we have like a? Is there like a? What's the word you used?
What?
The word you used to describe someone who's born with both.
The
It's,
hermaphrodite, but it's
Can
an
that not be like that
intersex.
kind of
It's called
boxing
Triang-
league? Can we
what
not
was
create
the
a
word?
new league?
God, why'd I forget it?
Intersex.
Intersex, yeah.
Can we not create an intersex weight class?
Well, I think these people identify
There's not
one way or
enough.
the other.
Okay.
She's a woman. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I don't.
So you would inspect her genitals and then.
I didn't say that.
Was this a gender test?
Oh, here we
no?
go. Now,
Well,
now
no,
he's
no, well,
putting
he
words
said-
in my mouth.
well,
Don't
you
you
said-
go there.
Okay, you're right. I'm trying to have like.
I said, yo, if you're born with a penis, I think that you should have to compete with the males. Imagine Bruce Jenner had both. How dominant he'd be in
Yeah.
women's.
Well, hold on. Well, she doesn't have both, so that's not even a.
But I'm just saying, like, if you really look down to it, like, he's already the best Olympian of all time. So you have
All
this-
time?
Okay, Michael Phelps.
You're
Michael
glazing
Phelps,
her
sorry,
up.
Michael Phelps,
yeah,
Michael
yeah.
Phelps,
you-
my
Michael
bad.
Phelps, for sure.
My bad. But he was up there.
Yeah. I want to deal with the actual like concrete thing we're talking about. So you're saying
Why are you so passionate about this topic?
No, I'm not. It's just I
do
feel
you-
like I want to talk it through all the way to
Okay.
tease out what we really believe and to
But we also don't know enough about this person.
I'm not talking well, no, I want to say hypothetically she has the XY chromosome. Okay?
So she has more masculine.
Just for the
traits.
sake of the conversation.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
She has 9 losses confirmed.
Yeah.
4 later disqualified. 44 wins, 4 later disqualified.
Yeah. It's not like she's undefeated, you know what I mean?
No, she's not.
Far from it, frankly. You know.
That's a big stat that people like to leave out
Yeah.
on X.
Because you just see this one fight where this one Italian boxer's like, she gave up immediately and she's like crying and his kind of like borderline hysterical, which is, I thought her reaction was bizarre even like to begin with. Like what kind of, but anyway, whatever. That was her reaction. I think that contributed a lot to the cultural hysteria because again, you look at her record, she's been fighting women and losing, beating. She's like very, right like in that competitive zone with the
Her 9 losses does not help the case here.
No,
yeah.
not at all.
Now I think I'm siding more with.
By the way,
fucking
she had a
H3.
fight today to proceed to the next round. She won. Obviously she fought a woman, but they went the whole distance. It was decided by the judges.
Yeah.
And it was a good fight from what I heard.
What round are they at? Are they now fighting for gold, or like, do you know?
They're not. It's not decided yet. They're just moving up. Apparently, the Olympics. I didn't know this is Olympic boxing is 1 loss and you're out. I was like, that's harsh.
To continue on, I see.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I just think like it's man versus man or woman versus woman.
I wonder how this all came to.
It would be nice if it was that simple, but
But how
that's
do you-
I'm trying to tease out. Like,
Why do you think this all came about? Like, how does this even get, we'll say, exposed?
so I think part of it comes from like the good place in people, which is like they see stories about kids being like mutilated genitally, and people love kids, people care about kids. We all want kids to be happy and healthy, and we want the best for them. So ultimately, I think it's starting from a really good place of like, so that's good, right? To start from there.
Protecting the kids.
Yeah, protecting the kids, which we all want to do. But I think from there, it's probably been exploited by like ideologues, propagandists, and other kind of such bad faith people to just like either boost their own content or to sow discord in American society, which, let's be real, is never been more discord. And we know for sure the Russians, the Iranians, the Chinese are all constantly involved.
We know that for sure.
Yes,
what?
for sure. Trying to disseminate misinfo.
How
and
do we know that for
propaganda.
sure?
Okay, wait. This is completely off topic, and you're probably going to roast me for this. But have you
The
seen
intelligence agency have said so much, and I think even the social media companies have said as much too.
Have you seen the Chinese female basketball player?
No.
She's 17 and she's 7'5".
Oh,
Have you seen that?
no, that's crazy.
How insane is that?
That's
Do you
insanely
think
tall.
that's natural, or do you think that's lab?
How the would I know? People are tall all the time. There's like 9 foot tall.
You don't
people.
see a 7-foot chick at 17.
Can I
like
see a
that.
photo?
Yeah.
Well, she might have
7'3", my
well,
bad.
dude, again, she might have a condition of like gigantism. Like,
Look at that.
Yeah, she probably has a condition.
How the hell are
though.
you D'ing that up?
Bro, she has a condition.
You're definitely not D'ing that up.
No.
Nah, you
but I
got-
could score
But
on
do you
her.
hear
I
what
could
I'm
cross
saying?
her up all day.
She has a condition that makes you like mega tall. Should she not be allowed to compete? She's
Okay,
a
so
woman.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
But that's right. So she'd be able to compete if she has this
course.
condition. She should be.
Yeah, I agree
Okay.
with that. 55 points.
But
in
these
two
are
games.
two. So in my head is like two separate things we're talking about. Like certain things, conditions like this. Yeah, of course she's a woman. She's just born extra tall.
Well, the
And-
difficult conversations happen in the margin, right? And the
Yeah.
rare cases. That's what this is about. So going back to the boxer, she has an XY. You're saying if she has a penis, she can't compete. So how do we decide if she has a penis? Like genuinely, this
I think you get a physical.
okay.
I was
you
gonna
get
say a really bad joke, but
No,
get it
but
with
I mean, I think you
Sneako
just
and
get a physical.
so you want to force?
I don't think that's force on anybody. I
No,
think
it's
a
not. If
physical
she
is pretty
consents,
normal.
so
Sorry,
you want,
Sneako.
So you want to make female boxers all get their genitals inspected?
I think that
A gender test.
physical is pretty.
So
Pretty
so
normal
all
thing.
female athletes should get a gender
I think honestly,
test.
there's all athletes. I didn't say anything about females. I think just all the athletes in general. It's the same thing as drug testing.
Do you think it matters if a man is displaying?
Have you ever seen a woman go and try and compete in a male competition?
I'm sure it's happened. There's
No,
a lot of
that would never happen.
there's a lot of sports that aren't like purely physical. You know what I mean?
Sure. So you have like, we'll take ping pong for instance. Maybe in a
Ping
scenario
pong,
like that.
polo, shit like that. But could a woman compete
But
in
you
the
don't
NBA?
ever
No,
see that
obviously
for
not.
a reason.
No,
I think
obviously.
that's a.
I'm not denying that men have more physical prowess. That's established. That's a fact, right?
yeah.
So all women athletes are going to now submit to a genital inspection. So let's say this boxer, she is identified as a woman. She's a woman. She's always been a woman. She lives in Algeria. She's competed with women. And then the doctor's like, your clit is kind of big, whatever. Let's do a DNA test or a gender test. And then it comes back like XY chromosome. So
So basically, we're at the point where it's, and I'm like I said, I don't even know about this, but it's either your testosterone levels or if your organs define whether you should be able to compete, right?
Okay, so she has a penis, and she has,
But what does it come down to? The organs, or is it the?
but she has a
It'd
vagina
be the
too.
same, right?
She has a vagina. Also, women. There's all kinds of women that have like elevated testosterone for one reason or another. There's medical conditions. There's things that you can be born with. Her condition provides more testosterone than most women. So again, it's like, is it different than the Chinese girl with the gigantism?
It's kind of the same thing in this case.
It's a physical advantage. She has a physical advantage if she's born with more testosterone, most likely. But like, if we should disqualify the tall Chinese girl with gigantism then too. I mean, that's a genetic anomaly, and it gives her a monster advantage. You saw that picture.
Yeah,
And she doesn't even
insane.
need to try.
She's
She's like,
17. No, that's huge. The WNBA needs her for the views. For
But
sure.
do you see how this conversation it stems back to just the overall thing of like, okay, should men who now identify and they're women now, should they be able to, compete against women? Like it goes back to that
I guess my
conversation.
point, and that I hope I'm getting across, is that it's just, I wish it was that simple. Because if you're asking me, can a dude throw on a dress and go compete with women weightlifting? No, obviously not, right? I think the vast majority of people would say, no, that's ridiculous. I don't approve of that. But it gets really complicated when like you get into the minutiae and the margins of it, and you look at like the fine details of like, well, what is actually happening? What is the consequence? Who are these people? You know, what's their story? What is their medical condition? Because as much as like it's reported, I don't think that there's dudes throwing on dresses and competing in women's sports. Like it just doesn't. Maybe it's happened once with this girl. I'm not familiar with her story, so I
The
can't-
swimmer.
Yeah, the swimmer.
Right.
But like the vast majority of trans athletes, they're not out there like stomping the competition. Like this is the first trans athlete I've seen who's like taking gold medals. Like, and there's a paradox too. Like
But
if they're losing, you don't hear about it and nobody
but are you
cares.
sure that they're out there losing? Because that's
Yeah.
you think so?
Yeah. Yeah, they're out there losing. For sure. They're competing, you know. But then the thing is, there's a paradox, right? Like, if they're losing, nobody cares, nobody notices. If
That's
they're
100
winning,
that's true.
if they're winning, then everybody notices and everybody cares. But the thing is, it's possible a trans person is just better.
Yeah.
So like there's also a paradox there. It's like
In what
if they're
sense?
not if they're not winning, nobody cares. If they are winning, they can never win fairly. No matter how good they are, no matter how gifted, natural,
what I
how
was
much they
saying,
practice, they can never win in the eyes of the public or whatever fairly. Because if they compete their whole lives and they lose and lose and lose, nobody gives a f. They put in the work, they put in the time to become a master at their sport. But then when they win, it's automatically like, this person cheated, right?
Yeah. You see, but that's the whole point I made earlier. Is that I think that it affects the entire trans community because I truly believe like Leah Thomas transitioned to be dominant in the sport that she couldn't be dominant in as a male.
I wish I
competing
knew
against
more about
males.
that.
And
Well, clearly I don't agree with people doing that, and I
So
think
that- there's
vast
levels
majority of
to it.
people don't agree with that.
if you're doing it for that reason, which is a huge decision, which Bradley, we're gonna have to talk about.
Dude, we're not. It's just-
Because I think
Not
that
making this
there's a
about
lot
me.
of perks if you
I'm
really
great.
take over
I'm
women.
happy. I love what I'm doing.
Okay, but I'm just saying, like,
fucking-
if you want to take it to the next level,
I'm gonna take it to the next level, doing something
turn that
else.
little pecker into a clit.
Little pecker. Huh? I like how you try to. I feel like you project a lot with me, man.
There is a lot
Okay.
of research from medical organizations that does say though, like transgender athletes who have been on hormone blockers and testosterone for like a set amount of years lose a ton of the advantage that they had as pre-transition, because like your bone density lowers, your energy levels lower, your muscle mass, like, you know, all this kind of stuff that gives men a physical edge, it gets totally blocked out. So like there are, and again, it's complicated, right? It's hard like to look at that and say, well, it's easier to just be like men and women, you know, let's just keep them together. It's easier to say that, and I agree with the sentiment, right?
Yeah.
But I think because I'm interested in trans issues personally,
Why? Why do you think though? I could tell you're really passionate about this whole thing, and you know a lot about the boxing situation. Is it because people are so misinformed, or you think like this?
I see
this
them as, like-
certain I don't know her name, but she shouldn't be taking the, we'll say, hate that she's receiving.
I see them as like the most marginalized group, and they're like mega at risk. These are like normal, good Americans. And I just see them getting like so defamed,
Okay, well,
and it's
can I go?
dangerous.
Yeah, go ahead.
I feel it's dangerous.
So do you think that this is the issue? Because, let's say they're literally in the same community as gays, right?
Sure, yeah, LGBT.
Right.
Yeah.
So do you think that because of that, there's more attention on them, and this wouldn't be as serious if they were in a separate category? Because I think there's a lot, we can all agree, and it's factual, that there's a lot more gays in the world than there are trans.
Yeah.
But because they're all grouped together, there's this hyper focus on trans.
I guess I don't follow your logic.
Like I feel like that there's
Why does
such
it matter if they're like in that
Well,
group?
because then you're not only you're grouping everybody together.
You're judging all gay people for what trans people do?
No,
you're saying?
I think that they're like, I don't think that if you're gay that necessarily puts you in the same category as trans. Like,
I agree. I don't know why they're grouped together, but
That's
I
my
still fail to understand.
where I'm going with this?
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying, do you think that because they're all grouped together, that brings way more attention to the trans community?
But why? Because people don't like gay people, or
No, because there's a lot more gay people. So when you think of gay people, you
Why
think
are
of what
people-
you just said, LGBTQ. So then you think, oh, trans, gay, trans, they're grouped together.
I'm
Do you see
I'm
what I'm
trying-
saying?
I see what you're saying, but I'm trying to follow like what the point you're trying to make is.
Is I think that it makes
why
like
do
you
people?
said-
Why do people care
No,
that
but I
they're
think
grouped
that-
together?
I
Like, what's the reason? You're obviously making the assumption, or some assumption, or estimate that because they're
I
grouped
think
together,
they're two
more people care.
completely
So
different situations.
why do people care? You
I'm
think being
asking
gay?
you. I'm asking you.
I don't think people look at it and think being gay and being trans is the same thing.
But they're grouped together.
I mean, it's like, I guess, but I mean, that's like saying minorities are all the same, like black and Mexicans and Chinese people are all the same. I don't really see it as that serious of a,
Of a thing.
yeah. I think that what they identify with each other is that they're both like, their identity, how they express themselves like sexually and is different than the mainstream. And I think they, as grouping together, have like understand each other more than, for example, like
Sure.
people outside the group. But do I think it matters? No, I think people hate trans people because, one, they think that a lot of people think it's like a cult that's coming after their kids. That's been, again, like you've heard this story about like a teacher with like a kiddie box in the kindergarten.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
But that's not real. Like that never happened. You know what I
Are
mean?
you sure about that?
Yes.
MPJ told me that story.
It never happened. And
I think
How
people
the
get
fuck
fired
do you-
up. I think people get fired up though because, like,
No, but
hold on.
last thing, wait, I gotta just get this out.
Okay.
Because I want to verify what I was saying is that when I think of LGBTQ, I don't think of gay. I only think of trans. Like, I don't know why that is, but it's triggered in my head. Like,
I don't
think
know.
more about the trans.
That
'cause
might
it's
be a
more of
you issue.
It's more of a topic. Are we sitting here talking about gays all the time, or are we talking about trans? Right?
I guess I don't care about how the class. I don't think it matters. If you're
Okay.
asking me, I don't think it matters.
So you think they should just everybody group together?
I think they can do whatever they want. I don't think I don't think gay people being under the same like umbrella as trans people affects how people see trans people.
See, I disagree with you. I live in WeHo, and I've noticed that there's a lot of gays that are like, "Yo, we're just guys that like guys. Like, we are not getting these operations. We are not the same as trans." And I think that's actually a bigger issue that people don't.
that are
dive
trying to
into
separate
enough.
themselves from the whole thing.
Yeah, because they're like,
Yeah, I
dude,
mean-
like I'm just gay. Like it's not that big of a deal, you know? Like
There's certainly gay people that
I've heard this
that aren't
as well.
going to identify
you're
with the
grouping
trans movement. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a whole thing, right? Because
Yeah.
I don't think the group means as much as you think it is.
Okay.
I think it's just a way of referring to like a big, broad, general group of people.
I think the big issue that people are having with this is it's not so much the gay thing, it's or even so much the transgender thing. I think it's more so the representation that they have in relationship overall, and then when it comes to talking about it with kids and about how like they're trying to make it okay to have these conversations at such a young age, when in reality, like, where did we ever get to the point where transgender, gay, whatever, like heterosexual, why are teachers and people who have their own biases based on their own life and where they're at, Why are they ever having conversations about what a kid should or shouldn't be doing, or should or shouldn't be thinking about their own sexuality, when in reality they should just be teaching them math and science?
So
I think that's, could you
my
agree
response
that
to that is this.
that's where it comes from? though?
So in the vast majority of cases you're describing would be inappropriate. However, what you described, I don't think it happens that much. I think it happens a few times.
But the
and
fact
it
that they're
gets
trying to
mega
pass
amplified.
laws, they're trying to pass laws where I understand the idea of like, well, the conservative family is going to be really hard on this
He's got a point
kid.
in the fact that if that happens one time, that clip gets 10 million views.
Yeah.
So
Well,
it might
that's-
happen one time.
but I think
I
that's
actually
a-
saw something like
So
that.
it's not like a symptom of a huge problem. I mean, there's outliers in every community of people doing up, right?
But do you think teachers, adults, 30-something-year-old people should be having conversations with children about their sexuality at
Well,
all?
what are we talking about? Like sex ed? I think sex ed's a good thing.
Sex ed.
Yeah, sex education's important.
But so you think there should be those conversations where like a guy should be saying like, yeah, or a woman, whoever, oh yeah, you could, this is a thing, like it should be.
You're saying kids shouldn't even know what trans
I'm
is?
saying like at those ages, like we're talking about like 8, 9, 10 years old, whatever, where
I
this,
don't think adults should be telling them or encouraging them to express any certain identity. That's, I think, crazy.
yes.
And I don't think it happens though. That's my point. Like it does happen a few times here and there. We have 350 million people in this country. Like in classrooms all around the country, you're not going to see that. And so my problem is that in the national discourse, it becomes this huge obsession. And it comes from a good place. Like I want to emphasize that because I know generally your audience is probably going to disagree with me. And I hope that having like just an open, kind of honest conversation about it, just expressing how I feel,
Yeah.
that maybe will at least make people think a little bit. But I respect that the reason that people do care is because they care about kids. So it comes from a good place. But like it just doesn't happen. You know what I mean? It's just not that big of a deal. And it's sucking up people's attention, and it's like dividing, it's creating a lot of chaos in our society. And I think conversations like this are really good because I don't think people who are like pro-trans generally get like a good platform to express their ideas and why they think the way they do and stuff. Like a lot of what I see is just like incendiary, like Matt,
negative. I'll
Matt
agree with that.
Walsh, like doing a combative interview with like a trans activist, and it's always like so kind of over the top. I'm not trans though, so like obviously I can't even really speak to a lot of what they deal with. This is just the way I see it as someone who is like, I support trans people. Now, should kids be transitioning? Like pretty much overwhelmingly no. Should teachers and adults be influencing them? No.
yeah.
And I think most people think that. That's the thing. I think that's what's frustrating. Like we all agree on that.
So you think it's more so like this divisive thing that is kind of just overall arcing and creating the circumstance where people think it is happening a lot more than it's actually happening.
Definitely,
But if it
yeah.
is happening at all, I think if it's happening at all, it's still a problem. Because like
But like,
it's
is
just
it a
be-
bigger problem than like school shootings? Because that happens way more often, from what I can see. Or like people having sex in the bathroom, or people bringing weapons to school, or people skipping school, or people who are bullying at school. Like there's lots of bad happening all the time. We should care about it. We should care about all of it. But like,
So you
it's
think-
not worthy of sucking up as much attention as it gets.
I agree 100%.
You know,
but,
it's so-
but that's the thing, though. Was like, why are we so focused on this then?
Because it's like it's like
it's
fish
so
chum.
unnormal?
It's just so juicy. Like it's so scandalous. It attacks what most people care the most in the world is about our kids, and so it attacks what we care about and hold dear the most in the world. Right? How our kids are being treated in public schools, being influenced, and so it turns into an ideological battleground.
Do you think it ever changes or gets better, or it just continues down this road of like divisiveness?
Well, I think
let me
that's
ask you this.
I think that's a deep conversation in politics, bro.
Well,
well, I
no,
like
I don't
to
think
have
it
it.
does. I mean, go back to the 50s. Being gay was classified as a mental disorder, and they were massively discriminated against, hated, victim of violence, marginalization. So it wasn't even that long ago that being gay was considered a like mental disease.
Yeah.
It wasn't
that's
that
what I'm
long
saying.
ago.
It's so different though. But yes.
Well,
As more
yeah.
and more cases,
I mean,
like back then in the 1950s, a lot more people were definitely quiet about their sexuality if they were gay. They weren't as comfortable to come out. But now we're talking about operations.
Also,
it's
like there's a whole
surgeries, it's a whole
pharmaceutical like
different thing.
money thing to this, like
Well,
gender affirming
Did you
care.
like you saw
and all
Elon
this.
Musk had his thing where he talked about like, yo, my kid had puberty blockers. He's not
Yeah.
even my kid anymore.
yeah, Elon.
feel like
I
even
would
like
never
Elon.
talk about my child the way he talks about her. Like no matter what, I find the way he talks about her is just vile and disgusting. As a father of 3 kids, I look at that and I say, no matter how much I felt they were going down the wrong path or like betrayed me personally or whatever, how he feels, I just feel like you got to support your kids. And
Do you?
I agree with you, but
She
I'm gonna,
didn't do
I'm gonna
anything
disagree
wrong.
Hold on.
because they're
She didn't kill
but
anyone.
he's
She
not
didn't
with
rape
the mom.
anyone.
Like I think that the whole narrative there was the mom was really pushing it, and when you have a separated family, it's going to be way
I don't know
harder.
the inner workings of their personal family dynamic.
Yeah, like I'm
But-
sure you and your wife agree on everything.
Yeah, pretty much.
You guys don't ever fight, do you?
No, not that much.
Like if there ever was a house argument in the H3 house, what would it be about?
Usually, well, it used to be about food because I was a big fat,
That makes sense.
and I would want like pizza or Mexican food, and she wants a salad. You know, but we have those fights less now. We don't. Let's see. Sometimes we fight about like who's getting the kid in the middle of the night. Not like fight, but she gets
How
annoyed
old's your
at
oldest
me.
kid?
My oldest is 5. My middle is 2.5,
Oh, they're
and
young.
our youngest is 4 months.
Wow.
So it's a zoo over there. Talk about zoo culture. We got 3 boys running around.
Damn.
Yeah, it's crazy right now, but it's good. It's great. I love being a parent, and I would do anything to protect them, right?
Yeah.
So I respect where you guys, if this is what you believe, and people watching who I know believe that are coming from. I respect where they're
I
coming from.
feel like you having children has changed your entire outlook on what you do for a living.
Yeah, that's probably true for sure.
I have a
It's
question
That's changed
for
a
you.
lot from having kids.
Do you think though that there is something to say about the sort of not, I don't want to call it promotion, but just the talking of it and the speaking of it and the showing of it and like people seeing it on social media? Like, is there a part of it that
Flaunting their
sexuality
transness or gayness? or
Yes. Do you think there is some sort of thing that then does trickle down to kids who are on social media looking at it and going, oh, this person is either getting, let's say, love, or this person is getting this negative attention? And let's say in a case where they feel like, oh, this person is getting good attention, that then a kid thinks, oh, I want good attention. Maybe I'm a part of this, or I feel this way. Or like, do you think that
I feel like
happens?
that's a different mental illness where you're willing to like change exactly who you are for positive attention. You know what I mean?
So you think that's like a mental illness?
Well, whatever that is, that's definitely something else.
Can we all agree?
Because you'd have to be pretty like, to be willing to be like, I'm going to go be with men who I'm not sexually attracted to, or I'm going to go change my gender. Like if you're willing to go to that extreme to get attention, like you've got something else going on, don't you think?
Yeah. But do you think that happens?
I mean,
that
I think it's
creates-
probably extremely rare, but I mean,
yeah, bro.
it probably happens.
Yeah, I'm just saying. There's like
I think one of
that's
the-
another thing that causes people to create like a lot of hate and divide.
I think one thing that's different is, and I hate to say this, but we're all older,
Yeah.
so we grew up with flip phones.
How old are you?
I'm 30.
Okay. Me and Bradley we're old as I'm 39.
Yeah, so Brad's 43.
I'm 35,
But,
dude. Jesus
But
Christ.
if you really look, like if when we were in high school, we just had flip phones.
I didn't have a phone. Yeah, I didn't have a smartphone until I was like done with college.
But once, if your kid has a fucking iPhone at 11, 12, they open Instagram, you're seeing a lot of chicks. You're seeing a lot of shit. And I think that
I
that
agree.
is
It's
what's
scary.
starting to like create all these problems. Is like you're being exposed so easily. Like I don't think I watched even porn for the first time until I was like 13, 14.
I remember the first time I watched
You open
porn.
your phone at 9, you could see OnlyFans.
Yeah,
chicks.
it's
I
horrible.
watched
I don't know how to
first time.
Huh?
I watched it on a VHS first time I watched
I
porn.
watched
What'd
it
you
on
watch?
dial-up internet. We went to boobs.com, me and my brother, and we waited like 5 minutes for it to load. When the titties came on, we're like, yeah.
My first site ever, RedTube.
I watched
Shout
it. I
out
watched
RedTube.
it. I was a kid. I just must have found a tape that my parents had. I like plugged that shit in.
Like an
Was it like
acting?
hardcore?
No, it wasn't hardcore. It was just like, honestly, I didn't even get a good picture. I remember it was being kind of like fuzzy. It was just like normal sex, like nothing crazy.
Well, that's hardcore. You saw people having sex.
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty gnarly.
That's
On the
hardcore.
VHS.
On a
As your
VHS,
first experience,
swear.
that's pretty hardcore.
How old were you think?
I had to be like,
This is when your addiction started. So let's.
I had a problem. I had a problem for sure, which is why I don't watch it at all. I had to be like 8 or 9.
Your parents should have hit the tape
8 or
a
9.
little harder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They got to tuck that
I
thing behind
was
Harry
exposed
Potter.
young too.
Oh, I knew there was a gun somewhere too. I knew where the gun was at all.
That's sketchy.
But I was like always just kind of like, this isn't good.
So
I
when you
always had
watched it, did it like blow your mind? Do you remember? Or was it
I
like
think the first time I watched it, I just watched it and was like, what the f- is this?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
didn't like, I wasn't playing with myself. I wasn't doing none of that masturbating shit. I was just like, wow, this is a
Played with your
thing.
clit
Yeah,
a little
yeah,
bit.
So stupid, bro.
I like those. Do you not like those?
What'd you say?
Played with his clit.
He's making
Because we're
fun of
talking
me.
about like the clit, big clit type, which he might have.
You're
I'm not
saying
sure.
he might be
he
having
played
both.
with his clit. Yeah. Well, we don't know.
We don't know, bro.
We're gonna
we
have
know.
to we're gonna have to
you wanna
inspect your
do the
genitals,
inspection?
bro.
We know.
What's your education level?
I have a bachelor's degree
Okay. In what?
in English lit, creative writing.
What this is completely change of topics. Whatever happened with you and Hassan? All right, guys, quick interrupt for the podcast. Botanic Tonics. Check this out. Lately, I've been trying to not stop caffeine, but get off my sort of caffeine. I would call it addiction. I don't want to call it addiction, but a little bit is. And a lot of you guys probably understand this. Probably energy drinks or coffee dependent, whatever it is. But for me, it got to a point where like I'm drinking caffeine and I'm just like not getting anything from it. In fact, the worst actually, because I feel like if I didn't drink it, then I don't even feel sort of normal. So if you guys are looking for a way to sort of like maybe wean off of caffeine or just feel a little bit more energized or more focused on whatever it is that you're doing, like for example, before a podcast, I'll take kind of like micro dosing of it and it just makes me feel just a little bit more of an edge. And it's really helping me to get off of the caffeine entirely. So if you guys want to give it a shot, go to botanictonics.com. And right now there's a bunch of different sort of like packages you can get. But if you do the subscription model, you guys can get up to 33% off of your order right now. Give it a shot if you want to try something different. I also like the kava. So again, guys, if you want to check it out, give it a shot. Go to botanictonics.com. Again, everything in a subscription base. If you guys want to get it monthly, you get 33% off. If not, there's still a ton of cool products you guys can check out. Check out the kava, also a favorite of mine. Let's get back into this podcast.
Nothing really. We just had the show. Like I couldn't do the show anymore. Just got like when the war started in Israel, his audience is, I think, like way left of where I am, and
Even more left.
way left. Well, they're like he's like a communist. He's a socialist communist. I think in general these people are. Like I understand their point of view, but people were just really getting angry. I think people were getting really angry at both of us. And for me specifically, it became like unhealthy. It was bad for me and my family and my mental health. And I didn't see a way that the show could continue going because it just got so up.
Because you guys are, I'm assuming, probably disagreeing on what the whole.
I mean, no.
Yeah.
We definitely disagreed on. Well, we disagreed on stuff like is Hamas a terrorist group?
Right.
Is like October 7th like justified? This kinds of stuff, which is like because I for the most part agree with most of what they have to say, which is what's so frustrating. Because I'm an Israeli citizen. I'm a dual citizen.
Really?
I lived there for 5
You
years.
signed Aliyah?
I made Aliyah, yeah.
Wow.
My wife is Israeli. We lived together for 5 years, and we moved to America. She's also a dual
Wait,
citizen.
how many years did you live in Israel?
5.
Wow.
So I
When
feel
was
like
this?
Oh, it was like 2000. I started YouTube when I was there, like 2010 to 2015, maybe. So I feel like I have an insight that I think a lot of people that talk about it don't have.
Yeah.
You know, and it's personal to me and my wife in a way that it isn't to most people. So while I agree that like the Israeli government is just committing like horrific acts of violence, and like I support like Palestinian sovereignty and stuff like that, like ultimately it was never enough. Like Sneako said, he goes, "Oh, you're Israeli, you're IDF, you do genocide." Like there's a certain point where people don't even want to. He's, I think, more extreme. Like I don't think he represents the majority of people, but on that topic, people, it's like if you deviate at all, then it becomes like you're no different than, you know,
Yeah, that's the one thing I think about that's tough for them is every president we've ever had, both presidents we have running right now are very pro-Israel. So they're like, if they're very supportive of Trump, like, dude, Trump's probably the most pro-Israel president we've ever had.
Which
So-
I find so ironic because in Michigan, like in Dearborn and all these Arab community or not Arab Muslim communities are like, and a lot of progressives are like boycott Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, and I'm like, dude, Trump is going to be way worse for Palestinians than Kamala would be. Like, he doesn't give a about that shit.
You're right there.
But you don't think he has interest in just it stopping?
I think he does, but I think his method of stopping it would be like just wipe the map. He would just give Israel a blank check to do whatever they want. So like Joe Biden at least has like he's made, in my opinion, a lot of efforts to moderate although America is supporting Israel, he has done a lot to try to broker peace, to bring peace talks to the table, to moderate their reaction to things, and he's like sanctioned certain some of the West Bank violence. So like, yes, he's supporting Israel, but he's doing a lot more to temper whatever violence is happening than Trump would. Trump wouldn't give a single. And I mean, the government that's in charge of Israel right now is really nasty. Like, really, really nasty. They just suck. Like, murderous. And like, I mean, some of the people in that cabinet are definitely genocidal. And they're the worst types of people. They have a coalition right now that was formed. Netanyahu is like center-right traditionally, but the last election he was going to lose to the left party, and he was forced to make a coalition with what is essentially like the Israel Nazi party. I don't like using that because it's like, I would say like fascist, like the Israeli fascist party. And so he gave a lot of power to terrible, terrible people just to preserve his own, you know.
It wasn't Trump's whole idea was that he would have not allowed, because I saw him do an interview. I don't know we'll talk about this too, though, if you have some time, but the interview he did with
Dude, you gotta
Adin.
extend your time. This has been the coolest pod.
Yeah, this is fun.
Oh, good. I hope, yeah, thank you. I appreciate that.
No, this is
I'm
This is
enjoying
like
too.
a very rare opportunity to sit down with you, so we gotta make
So
the best out of it.
he did this interview with
Let me
Adin.
check with my wife if she's going to kill me if I stay.
Tell her
later.
me and Brad will pay
is
for
fine.
dinner. You guys
Yeah,
go
whatever.
have a date night.
I'll sell you some. Yeah.
We'll find a babysitter or something.
Yeah.
You have a sitter, don't you?
Steiny can babysit.
Yeah, they leave it. Well, our help leaves at 5, so that's when. Because
Okay,
taking
tell
care.
her then we'll take care of the extra rate, or I will personally.
I don't think money is the issue.
Well, no, as a generous offer.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
So he's had this conversation, and we could talk about it a little bit, but the Adin and interviewing Trump, and he was basically saying that if he was the president at the time, sitting president, that it wouldn't have happened because the position that the Iranian government was in wasn't in a position to be able to like fund the sort of violence that's going back and forth. So he was saying that like it wouldn't have even gotten to this point. If he
I don't
was
know
the
how he
president.
could say that. I mean, that's just like based on
Everyone's
nothing.
gonna say that. Every other
That's just silly. You know?
politician's gonna say this wouldn't have happened if I was in office.
It's
But
like it's just so like outlandish. It's like how? What do you mean? Like how you would have stopped Hamas from
everyone will say that,
surprise attacking
even
Israel?
though I think he might have. But
Yeah,
what
I
do
mean,
you-
who knows? But like, you know, I don't take it that seriously when he says that because who the fuck?
do you agree that he probably has a better relationship with other?
World leaders.
Yeah,
I mean, it depends who. Like, I don't.
the most fearful.
It seems like
ones.
they all with him.
Yeah, because he gives them a lot of space. Like, do you think Putin and Xi Jinping, the leaders of China and Russia, give a single fuck about anything but like any advantage they can get for their own government, their own like empire?
No, but I think that's part.
So
that's
I
part
think
of
that-
every country in the world.
My suspicion is that they fuck with him because he's easy to manipulate.
If that brings peace, then is that worth it?
Well, who knows where it goes? I can't say it brings peace. Who knows?
Well, couldn't
what the
that go
fuck's gonna
both
happen.
ways then? Because I don't think you think he's the kind of business person that would be like, "Here's all my hands, I get nothing." Like I don't think Trump's that guy either. I mean, I think the whole idea about people are so
I
dogged.
don't listen. I don't think his strategy of like being friendly with like Kim Jong Un and Xi Jinping and Putin is terrible. Like I think there's some merit to like trying to have a decent relationship. But the thing is, these countries are very adversary, like under under the surface, there's a lot of going on where they're like intentionally trying to sow discord in American society. You remember when China flew that spy balloon over in America?
Yeah.
Like they're always up to weird, and China, it's their goal to topple American homogeny so that they can do whatever the they want, like take Taiwan, expand into Asia. They, you know what I mean? Like he wants to build an empire.
Trump.
No,
he's talking about
Xi Jinping.
Yeah.
And so like there's ways to handle it on both sides, like being adversarial or friendly. I mean, who knows what's the best way to do it? I don't.
This whole, dude, this last 2 weeks, just watching like politics,
Insane.
it's like you have Meg Thee Stallion in a cutoff, twerking, singing at the Kamala, and then Trump had Amber Rose. Like it seems like that's my thing with Kamala is like I don't even know what the fuck she believes in because all that's pushed on me is Meg Thee Stallion and Quavo.
Yeah, I think you're right. I don't think a lot of people know what I think people just don't like Trump and they see her as like young. She does have a good professional record.
She's 59.
Which is young compared to these old ass mother. Trump's almost 80. He's like, isn't he? He's like 79.
He's 79, yeah.
That's old as shit.
But didn't you feel the same way about Biden when Biden was president?
Yeah, he's old as
Yeah.
I think our country's.
Well, that's why they get these. How old? She announced today. Her.
He's
VP.
60.
He is.
Yeah.
Because JD Vance is 39,
Yeah.
so he's younger. But anyway,
Obviously,
that's
age
besides
can't be the
point.
only
He's only
determining
39.
factor.
I mean, I think it's good. I like to see younger people in politics because I feel like this country, for the past decades, has been like a straight up gerontocracy where like old people hold on to power and they don't leave. Look at Mitch McConnell. Look at Nancy Pelosi. Look at Joe Biden. These people are old. They're in their 80s, and it's time for them to pass the baton and sit the out.
Yeah.
Like I'm so tired of these old motherfuckers not like.
This is something I definitely agree with.
It's just I'm so over it, and like they don't know what we go through. They don't represent us. They're all doing insider trading and all this bull, just entrenching their own power. It's like I feel there should be an age limit on public office.
Yeah.
And I think it should be like 75 at most.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I mean, you're going to put it.
75 is still old.
I mean, with all the peace and love to all the old folks, would you put an 80-year-old in charge of your business?
No.
Yeah.
No.
You know, you sit down with an 80-year-old, most of them are kind of wacky. Hard to even have like a straight conversation with.
Yeah, I agree.
Let alone
100%.
run the country. So that's the thing when Joe Biden exited, because he's old as shit, he's like 72, or no, 82, sorry. Then all of a sudden Trump's the old one now, because 79 is old as shit.
Trump's in good shape for
But
79.
he's so sharp, man.
For
He
79,
doesn't-
he's pretty sharp.
He's slowed down a bit.
Why?
Joe Biden was looking pretty sharp at 79, by the way.
What way do you think he slowed down?
I've just seen like some of his recent speeches, and his seems lower energy than he used to be.
Do you think that any part of like him doing the Adin?
Is he in a better mental place than Joe Biden was? Obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But do you think there's any risk there? Like he did a live stream with Adin Ross.
I
Like,
thought
if
that
he
was
it's
really-
crazy.
I thought it was kind of a dumb political move.
Why
I
so?
disagree,
Why
but I
so?
think, and I'll
I
tell
think
you
he's-
why.
Go ahead.
I got mad love for Adin and shout out. That's huge for him. But I also think that how can you say that when you see like Kamala's doing the same thing? Like it's like they're competing against each other to get
I
this
don't
young
think
vote.
Yeah, I don't think what Kamala's doing is smart.
But
either.
why is? I think that it's very different. But I think that Trump having the balls to go on a live stream with a guy like Adin. Adin's what, 23?
Yeah, I think so. I believe so.
Like there's
23,
some
24.
risk in that. I think, and you don't see any like we've
Kind
had,
of. I bet you
on the
they-
full send pod we've
they
had Trump
vetted
on.
the-
You don't see the Democrats come do that.
I think I don't think he would go on. I'd have Trump on my show. Are you kidding? You know what I mean? Like he's on my show.
love that.
Like I would love to. I don't think he's. I think they vet the situation and the environment like tight as a mother. So everything Adin was going to do, they went over it in great detail. Everywhere they were going to walk, they went over in great detail. Everything they were going to talk about, they went over in great detail. I think it's bold. I think it's cool, like that. You know, out doing what the young people do and trying to be cool like that. But I think the people he's appealing to on Adin's Twitch stream are probably already supporting him. It's like very much preaching to the choir.
But you see how viral that go. Like anyone who's
But
on their
also,
phone saw
like,
that.
I'm just not sure that like the president associating with like Adin Ross, who, I mean, he's just like a kid and like not a serious one either. It just felt kind of goofy. Like I feel that it could be used against him. But who knows? Maybe it helps. I don't think it was a terrible, terrible idea. I think everyone's trying. I think they're both trying.
That's interesting. You know what? Because the reason I brought that up is because I saw today someone on X tweeting, Kai Cenat needs to have Kamala.
I saw that. Yeah.
Like imagine that.
Yeah.
That'd be bananas.
That'd be crazy. That would break the internet. Like.
I agree. That would see that. Yeah.
But why is it always one sided? You really just see Trump's really confident in himself, and that's.
I feel like Kai is more. He doesn't have like a political identity, so I feel like it might be able to influence more people than I think Adin Ross, because his association with Andrew Tate and all these types of characters is like pretty solidified on the conservative side of things, and is already like kind of magged out.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
I would love to see Kamala.
The thing
on
Trump
Kai
needs to
stream.
do is like actually get these young people who don't give a shit about it
go out
to
and vote.
actually go and vote.
Yeah.
That's the hard part.
Have you ever voted?
No, I'm voting this year though.
You've never voted?
No.
You never voted?
I voted in 2 elections.
And I'll tell you why. I mean, in my overall
My
feeling
opinion
of
doesn't
politics,
matter.
No. My overall feeling of politics is like, not that it doesn't matter, but like I believe that things are going to be the way that they're going to be regardless. Because it's like, I mean, picture this. We talk about like people getting in charge or getting in power. It's not just a singular person is determining everything. Like, yeah, maybe they could sway certain places, but like there is a greater conglomerate of people that are up there making decisions.
You're
That's
talking about deep state?
That's actually a bull response, but yeah.
You think that's bull?
Yeah.
You think that one person is dictating everything?
It doesn't matter because
Well, they
it's
have
still
different-
you're voting. They're different viewpoints.
For
bro.
sure, and
one group has a different
mean,
views than the other.
I agree with Steiny that it matters, but
I do believe
like
it matters.
Well, we have different branches of government, so we're talking about the presidential election. So the executive branch has a lot of power. He will directly appoint his cabinet members that run the whole departments. He'll assign the district attorney. Look at what Trump did. He assigned 3 mega conservative Supreme Court lifetime appointments that are trying to make abortion illegal throughout the whole country. Whether you believe that or not, my point is like the influence is undeniable. Like Trump has solidified the Supreme Court as like mega conservative for the next like 30 years. So it does matter who.
I honestly think it's cool too. I think I did a thing this morning. Dude, I think everyone should go vote.
I agree.
Absolutely.
I think
agree.
it's a cool and it's a really sick like opportunity and a right that you have. And it's
Dude,
when
it's
you walk
badass.
out of
We
there,
live in
when you sign your
democracy.
ballot and you walk out of there, you feel like you're
I'm
proud to
definitely
be
doing
an
it this year.
American.
And I think everyone should.
Dude, we live in America. Awesome.
Yeah, it's cool.
Like, look
as
at
fuck.
what's going down in Venezuela right now. They had an election with Maduro.
Yeah, Maduro.
And
yeah.
he lost by a big margin. And he's like, nah, f- that.
Yeah. Insane.
I didn't see
Insane.
that. I don't know.
You didn't see
about
that?
No.
Yeah, and China, they have elections.
Yeah, well, I know.
In Russia, they have elections. Ours work. Ours actually work. You know, for better. People have a lot of criticism of it, a lot to say about it, but like ultimately it does work.
Is there any other stuff outside of like the sensitive topics that you are very passionate about?
I mean, I love my kids.
Outside of family? Like now you're a family guy, right?
My world is pretty small these days, to be honest. Like,
I want to do a scenario where you would have to come and do something that I would want to do on like a Friday night. And then
you want to have a date?
No,
Like
just
a
like yo,
date?
you
This
roll
is
with
funny.
dude. Why you have to turn
You want
into
me to?
that?
You want
Dude,
me to
you just
invite
said
Jeff?
you want to take him on a date
Yeah,
on
you-
a Friday night.
That's fucking
You want to go to a
insane.
nice restaurant with me?
You literally just
We
said
will
on
go
a
to a
Friday
nice
night.
restaurant, but there'll be others involved. But I would like
Just me
to,
and you.
No, I'm not. I don't. We could actually.
You
Fuck,
can
All
bring
the
Jeff
wine.
Wittek too.
we could do that too.
Bring Jeff too.
But
Yeah,
you're not
Jeff
coming to my crib.
shirtless.
Yeah. Brad, you come, bring your clit, and then we'll do. But I think we do it. You come out with us, and we'll, because you call it like. Obviously, you've said like, yo, we're the broy douchebags, which
I didn't
which
say
is fine.
douchebags.
But we are.
I think
I'll
I may
admit
have
that.
applied it though. I don't.
You applied it.
But I say bro. I wouldn't say douchebag.
So why don't we trade? We do one night. You come out and hang out with us, and then we'll do some.
You know what I
wholesome
thought was
shit with
really
you.
interesting?
I don't do lib. Shit. I don't know what you think. I don't go to like gay clubs and stuff. Like I stay at home and I play video games. That's literally
Me
my
too.
whole life.
Yeah.
What are you gaming?
Right now I'm playing. I am addicted to this mobile game. It's so pathetic.
What is it?
That's
Is
not
it where
like
you
an Age
build
of
the?
Origins type shit, is it?
Is it where you build the like the armies and stuff?
No, it's called Survivor IO, and it's like you just run around and like kill. It's dumb. But right now I'm playing like Monster Hunter on PlayStation. I like Elden Ring and all that type stuff.
Oh, you
That
play
game's
Elden
fun,
Ring.
man. It's so hard.
I
So
get into
hard.
all
I never
that
played
stuff.
that.
So hard.
We played
Yeah.
the same Diablo, Age of Empires. all that
Oh yeah,
shit.
Diablo I play a lot.
Diablo's
Yes.
fucking
Do you play
lit.
hardcore or not hardcore?
No, I don't play hardcore.
Really?
That's crazy.
Fuck, that's the best way to play it.
I didn't play hardcore.
You
I've
have
never-
to play hardcore.
It's
Why?
too hardcore.
Because if you die, all your shit's gone.
It's too hardcore.
So
for me.
Why would you want to do that?
Because it's sweaty and it's so much more fun that way.
I should try it, but
Bro, it's so much. It gets you going. Like it's way more fun. Way more
yeah, I
fun.
can see that.
Because you can get popped and you're gone.
We had this conversation on Brad's pod recently, but you very rarely see successful relationships
Yeah, it's a good one.
where both partners are involved in the content. I can think of two, yours and my boy. Shout out Adam22 and Lena the Plug. They have a successful
That's true. They do have a
relationship.
good.
Whether you want to
Whatever
throw
you think
shade or
about
not,
it,
whether
whatever
you want to
you
throw
think about
shade,
it.
they are happy.
Fucking
And I
crazy.
Yeah,
saw
I
them at a
agree.
party a few weeks ago, and they had the time of their lives.
Yeah, that's true.
Insane,
So how
but
hard
yes.
has this been when you're both like working together, money's coming in on camera, disagreements, whatever?
So it would worked really good for a long time when I was doing my show, like the H3H3 production stuff for years. There started to be more conflict because she didn't have as much to do as me. And that just creates like a imbalance, you know, that just like can cause resentments. But I think what really turned everything around for us is when we started our clothing company, Teddy Fresh. So that's her full-time project. And the podcast is my full-time project.
I see.
And we do very much still work together, but like we're living very separate professional lives now. And that has genuinely helped a lot.
Interesting.
Like we work right next to each other. We have like two buildings, one for her, one for us.
But the tasks are unique.
Yeah.
To the companies.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
we see each other and stuff, but like
Did you bring her into this space? I'm sorry, I don't know.
we started our channel together. H3H3 is our initials
Yeah.
put together.
You didn't know that. Yeah.
We're day one.
I saw him roasting me, and I was like, I'm never watching this guy.
No, that's fair. You don't have to go back and watch
But,
all that shit. But yeah, we're day one. We made the channel together. It's pretty crazy.
Insane. Because
Yeah.
I'm trying to get into.
I don't think there's
a
any
more
other
serious
couple. I don't think
relationship.
there's any other couple like that, to be honest.
Day one, I don't know.
I don't. I
Day
really
one
don't
starting
think
the
so.
content together? No.
Yeah,
I think that's
it's-
literally the only one.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I mean, how it worked out because we made that channel just for like posting for her like weird video. She had a video art class, and this is how we started the channel. There's this one dude in her video art class, and she comes home one day and she's like, this guy, he's so good at acting. He's so cool. He can do any part. And I was like, man, that guy. I can do
Fuck
that
yeah,
shit.
that guy.
And so I was like, man, that. I'm going to be in your videos now. And literally, that's how we started our channel.
That's dope. The
From-
ego. I love that. The ego.
There was no in the beginning
yeah.
comment
like-
reading competitive of who's carrying more than the other.
No, not. Well, I was always like the front man, so there was never like any.
There you go. There's that inner alpha.
You know what? Yeah.
Well,
I love it. She
I
is
was,
a woman.
I was
mean.
always trying to bring her in. Like there was times when she would sit in with me, and then we ended up making our own channel together where we would react together. And I think it was nice. It was good bringing her on, but she's not. She does not have the same personality as me. She's not like.
The thing that I think is so interesting about that is with Adam and Lena is they're like trained at this point. Anything negative, whatever, it's just blocked out.
It's good because they get a lot of
And
it.
I'm surprised how that doesn't affect like you're talking about like in the home, in the household. Like
Well, bro,
Sometimes it
they've-
does. When
They've clearly made it like a very crazy decision that like.
no, but I mean in his regard, it's
when
it's a
we would
different
go
situation.
through, it would definitely cause a lot of. It could cause problems where it just feels really bad. But we've gotten through a lot of that, and I feel like we're at a really good, stable place now.
Would you advise me if I'm like trying to date a girl who's also in the scene? Like, is it going to be difficult for me if she does OnlyFans?
Well,
This is
so
very serious. He's very serious about this.
I have no problem with OnlyFans. I think you should ask yourself that because I think the difficulty might come from some of the people in your life who would be judgmental about it. I don't think there's anything wrong with a girl doing OnlyFans. And would I date an OnlyFans girl if I was single? I mean, potentially. I wouldn't rule it out. It's more about like compatibility and relationships and like shared values and stuff. So, I mean, it certainly can work out, of course. It's just a matter of like, do you trust her? Are you guys
Yeah.
compatible? Or
See,
Or is your
that's where, that's
audience
the
is your
problem that I'm
audience gonna
trying-
fucking freak out? You know what I mean?
No, they're gonna be stoked, and she's probably gonna make way more money than I will.
Yeah. Only,
That's
yeah.
So that's the serious question is like
So wait, you're dating someone who's thinking about doing OnlyFans or is OnlyFans?
is.
So
I'd say loosely dating.
My only question is always like, what does she sell?
No, but that's not the issue. My issue is like
So you wouldn't care if she sold like her vagina? That'd be easier, or
because it's like if you're doing that.
You mean
yeah, I mean that would be an
pics,
issue.
full
for me.
nudity.
That would
Yeah.
be that's obviously an issue, and she doesn't do that. But my issue is like, if I want to post her on my story,
you know, you're
and
driving
she's
a
gonna
bunch of
benefit.
traffic,
I'm driving
but-
traffic. She starts making money. Like, how do I trust that that's still gonna be
You know,
a emotional relationship?
I agree that that's tricky, and I'm glad that I never had to deal with that. If I was single now and dating, I mean, it would be a lot more complicated. And I'd be a lot more cynical and guarded for
Yeah.
sure. I mean, it's tough. I don't know.
when
I don't
you
know
go
the
out in
answer.
public, or do people come up to you a lot?
It depends where I am, but yeah, for the most part, there's.
What age were you when you really like started to traject?
How old was I?
Yeah,
I
you
was
were
like
obviously-
mid late 20s.
and were you married at that point?
We got married around the time we started. Yeah,
So you were pretty much, but you were together at that point.
I was locked in. Yeah.
Was there any part of you that was like, yo, I could adventure and try this other
Is there
life?
a part of me that's like, it'd be fun to date now that I like have a job and like people respect, or like, I don't know how much people respect me, but like I have money. Like before I was
She's funny.
unemployed. You know what I mean? So yeah, it'd be fun to go out and have like actual assets and not try to like, I have to like work overtime to convince girls to like me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
You won't have
it
that
was-
problem
10
right
times
now.
easier,
You
10
won't have
times
that problem
easier.
right now.
But so like it would be fun, but like I'm not gonna leave my wife.
Of course not. I'm
Yeah.
just saying if
Have
there
I
ever
thought it'd
was
be
a
fun?
point where
Yeah.
you like thought about like
I never thought about like I want to do that.
yeah, no, I just
You know what I
like
mean?
I said, yeah. No, I think it's
Yeah,
it's
but I
fucking awesome.
totally acknowledge that like it would be a totally different experience.
because I think that's also where we keep going back to it, but where like the initial like on these guys was like the single douchebag partying, using their whatever clout, money to their advantage while you came up. Pretty much content in a relationship.
He's saying you're jealous.
No, I don't.
Basically,
I'm not saying that at all. I'm just
Oh, is
saying
that
it's-
what you're saying?
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying it's just so different.
No, I don't
and,
care
And
that-
you know what's funny is most people are
I
going to
just-
respect and agree with the way that you did it, probably.
I mean, you know what's funny is that like all these conservatives, and that I get a lot of from people like gym bros and people on TikTok and
But
stuff.
I gotta say this before you continue. You wore shorts today.
yeah,
That was the most gym bro thing you ever.
these
Remember
are
you
tied. These are high too, boy.
Remember shorts? It was like that's like a douchebag gym bro thing.
Yeah, these
Dude,
are,
you lost weight. Look at you.
yeah. I'm
Yeah,
riding.
I love
I'm showing
it.
them off now.
Love it.
What was I saying? I don't care if you're single or married, but I was saying it. I think it's funny because like I have the most traditional, like Christian value type of life, you know,
Yeah.
of like anyone. I have like kids. I go home. I spend time with my wife and my kids. I take care of my dogs. That's it. And I think it's funny that people like Sneako, whose like personal life is like just turmoil and judgment and just like hate, and like I have the most traditional life that you could ever have. Am I judgmental of single people? No, of course not. No, I think
you-
it's fun. I think I'm. Would I have fun being like single and going out and drinking and stuff? I don't think so. I mean, I'm 39.
Bro,
But-
how old is Leo DiCaprio?
Well,
That guy's been doing this for fucking
it's kind of
30 years,
embarrassing
baby.
though, isn't it? He keeps dating 24-year-olds. Like at a certain point, people are starting to be like, "This guy's weird."
That's, I mean, I'm not going to touch on that because Leo's goated, but there is
You know,
that-
you won't even.
there is the
utter-
narrative of like the under 25-year-olds that we all see.
Dude, different lifestyles are good for different people. Like if he's happy, then I think it's awesome.
Yeah.
I don't think I would specifically be happy doing that.
So then that's what I really want to
Like
ask.
I think
you.
everyone should live whatever life makes them happy. People should be happy and do whatever makes them happy.
I always think about what
And that includes being trans or gay or whatever. It's part of that.
100%.
It's part of that ethos where I'm coming from.
But I always think about this, and I think about it honestly daily at this point, is like how many people in this space are actually happy, because it seems pretty
It's
rare.
hard. There's a big part of my career where I was just depressed as like just abjectly unhappy, you know. And I feel like there's a firewall of sorts in the creator space where like you become popular, you start to make money, you start to get attention, and there's like right there's a passage of like, does that destroy you where you can't continue, which happens to a lot of people? Or are you going to figure out a way to like, now you have to make it sustainable and in a way where you're not so miserable that you dream of like moving to a monastery or something, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm sure a lot of creators are stressful because it's so hard commanding the judgment of like so many people. Everyone's got all these different opinions about you in your own fan base even, and it can really f with you. I stopped reading most of it. The way I think about it that helped is like when you're hanging out with like a homie and you're talking about like a mutual friend, let's say, like you would potentially talk way more harshly about that person with your friend than you would like in front of them, because you understand like you might be more harsh than you don't actually mean it, and you guys kind of understand like that he's your friend and you love him and stuff. If he heard you guys talking like that, he would be deeply offended, right?
For sure.
I feel like these internet conversations are kind of like that. Like I'm not meant to be a part of these conversations, and so I try not to take them personally. Although it's not always easy. It's not easy to always do that.
But the other thing I think about with you too is you've been sustainable. You've been doing this for what? How many years now?
Full time, probably like 15 years, maybe.
There's no part of you like this is now life, and you've never been like, I don't want to.
There was
attention and.
No, there was times where I wanted to quit.
How did you figure it out?
So one of the big things was changing what we did. One of the big things was my wife getting a new focus where she was doing her own thing. And one of the biggest things that I'll say, shout from the top of the roof, that changed everything for me in the best way possible was starting antidepressants.
Really?
Those mother changed everything
I'm
for me.
so opinionated on this.
I know. I
Go
hate
ahead.
pills.
Well, I am too, actually.
I hate pills. I think they're really bad for people. And I've never
Not
been
for
on
me.
antidepressants. I've
Bro,
been talking about different types of pills.
So like the antidepressant I'm on is Lexapro. I'm happier. I'm healthier. I'm making better content. I'm like feel more
You take
myself.
it daily?
Yep, every morning. What's your downside or what's your criticism of?
I guess it's
antidepressants?
just the thought that do you believe that there's no other way to get to that point happy, like mentally, without that?
I tried for a long time, many years, and I wasn't getting anywhere.
I remember we kind of spoke about this before.
I genuinely did it as like a last resort. Like it was, I had him next to my bedside for like 6 months.
I
'Cause
remember this.
I was scared to take it, right? Because apprehensive. You
Yeah,
don't want
yeah.
it. But I was just I felt like the lowest point, and it for me felt like something that I had to try. Otherwise,
And you
I
got
would
your,
have to just quit YouTube and disappear.
You had got your blood work done. You've seen that your hormones were good.
I'm like regularly testing and doing all this stuff right
So your
now.
testosterone
Everything's
wasn't
normal.
low. Yeah.
I think that's a fear that people have, though, is like, if I have to resort to pills, that's a sign that maybe...
You feel weak and that you weren't able to do it yourself. And I think with a lot of guys, they see that as threatening their masculinity in some ways. Or as a man, and I have that too, you want to be able to do it for yourself, right? And you don't want to feel weak and like you failed. But the thing is, making that decision was actually hard. It was a really difficult decision for me to make. To make the decision to like get myself the help that I needed and that I deserved. And it helped me so much. Like I'm a big proponent for it just because like I can speak to how much it changed my whole outlook and my ability to like just live and be. But like it's not for everybody. The thing with antidepressants is the one I'm on, Lexapro, SSRIs, they just like increase the serotonin in your brain a little bit. That's all it does. Just gives you a little extra serotonin. That's all. And it's non-addictive. You can stop taking it. You can taper off it and be totally fine. You know, there's antidepressants, like one of the most clinically studied medicines in the world. And they're very well understood in that regard. And, you know, they're well studied and well supported by medicine and medical groups. Psychiatry is.
How long have you been on those?
I've been on it for a while now, probably like 6 years.
You think it changed your life completely?
Completely.
Bro.
Completely, dude.
Just, I don't know. I've had so many friends that had like Xanax, Adderall, shit.
Well, okay, so Xanax is a
and I know it's
habit-forming
completely
drug.
different.
Yeah,
They're
that's a
completely
opioid.
different.
That's
But
not-
Xanax
I've
is-
seen what that's done to people, and it just makes.
So I had a Xanax prescription when I was like going through my anxiety, and I had to tell the doctor stop giving it to me.
Yeah.
Because I was just like using it recreationally, and Xanax is really bad
Yeah.
for you, like physically.
Yes.
So
Very bad.
So like, there's
Super addictive.
I don't put like antidepressants and like psychiatric drugs in the same realm as like street drugs.
Sure.
You know
for
what
sure.
I mean?
Yeah.
It's just totally different.
Yeah.
Because like you don't feel anything when you take the antidepressant. It's just it's not addictive and it's not habit forming.
That's another thing, and this is a different conversation, but I think that's so interesting is like how doctors prescribe like 9 and 10-year-olds Adderall.
That I'm very much against,
And I'm
frankly.
just
And
like, why is
I've
that
caught-
a thing, bro?
I've caught for that because
Adderall with your head. And I'm not
Adderall
saying
is
I
a
take
hard drug, bro.
Yeah.
I've taken that and it goes
it.
crazy.
I'm taking it a lot, not
Yeah.
that much.
I would
You've
do,
taken it a lot.
I've taken it a good amount.
I would do anything that I could in my power to like not give my kids something like Adderall until they were like an adult.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, according to medical research and stuff, so the thing is, if you are really hardcore ADHD, like, it can have such a negative impact on your life that the Adderall, this is what I understand from the medicine, does actually help. Like, it does end up being a net benefit. But like, for me, you know, it's just, I've taken it and I know it's just such a hard drug. Like,
bad.
it really fucks you up.
I had a family member who was prescribed it when they were like, this isn't me, I swear to God. But when they were like 11, 12.
Yeah, I
no,
did
not
too.
even, probably 12 or 13, but like they would have that come down and it'd become it'd turn into a monster. And I'd be like, bro, get off the.
Mm-hmm.
Like, who gives a if you focus in school for 1 more hour of the day, like after that, you got to turn into a psychopath. Like, it's just, that's something I've never wrapped my head around is how do kids get their hands on
Sounds very
speed?
personal.
Well,
So
I didn't need Adderall, and I'm being honest. I went through school. I have a bachelor's degree. Took my LSAT. Like, I was very studious, but I did have somebody. I only take it recreationally now.
Yeah.
Like, I take it to party.
I'm pro recreational drug
I'm
use.
being
Don't,
honest. Like,
hey, don't get me
I
wrong.
don't take it
dude.
for studious reasons.
Yeah, I'm pro recreational drug use. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Look around and have fun.
Have you done ayahuasca?
No.
Okay,
I've done
I'll do
acid and
ayahuasca
MDMA.
with both
I'm
of
not,
you.
I'll do it.
I'm not in.
Shrooms?
I've done shrooms a lot. I've done acid. I've done
I love
MDMA was
mushrooms.
always my favorite drug.
Dude, I don't know why. I just feel like if I ever ran into you, it'd be at like a Fish concert.
You know what?
And you'd have like a tie-dye shirt
I see
and
why
a
you
beer.
think that, but I'm so like out of the psychedelic drug phase of my life. You know what I mean?
Really?
I'm just like I'm like not interested
Tapped out.
anymore. Yeah.
Well, even with SSRIs, you can't really can fuck around with that anyways at this point.
You can't.
Yeah.
You're not even supposed to drink on it or
yeah.
take any psychoactive drug. I think a lot of people who like have bad experiences with it are people who continue to take drugs recreationally.
Definitely.
Like, I had a friend who was begging me. He's like, "Don't do it. Please don't do it." Like, I went on antidepressant once and I wanted to kill myself and it was horrible. But I'm like, I'm sure this dude was taking like all kinds of drugs when he was on it, like acid, MDMA, drinking. So you can't do that. You got to like
You have to
be
very,
serious. You got to
very
be
strict.
serious about it.
Yeah.
And for me, it's all been worth it, you know. But the thing about ADHD medicine and antidepressants is like everybody's so different that I've learned not to be too judgmental about how people consume medicines and the situations people are in. Because, look, there are going to be situations where kids are going to benefit from taking Adderall, which seems crazy to me. But, like, I looked into it because I felt the same way. And from what I've learned is that, like, it can net benefit. So, you
Yeah.
know what I mean? It's kind of crazy, but like, you know, some families just get so f***ed up. Like, if your kid is like mega ADHD, like, it can really tear a family up. Like,
yeah.
cause like a ton of turmoil. And so, you know, at a certain point, it's like, how can we judge this family and this child and what they're going through and say like, oh, I can't believe you're doing that to your kids. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I think it can also
Especially if a doctor tells you like, this is what you should do.
For sure.
Not like
I don't always trust doctors though. I guess I
that's
fall
like a
on
new
that
phase
side.
now.
I do. I trust doctors.
When it
love
comes to
that.
prescribing pills,
doctors
just
are
don't.
awesome.
well, they're going to be you're
I-
talking
not
about a
all,
different
I mean-
thing, bro, when you're comparing like health, physical health to mental health.
No.
Well, they're
don't
all
think so?
doctors.
No, it's just doctors in general with the prescription of drugs. It's a profit business.
I mean, you got to find a doctor you trust. Some doctors are weirdos, like any profession, but it's important to find a doctor you trust because they're fucking smart and well trained and know a lot. You know what I mean? And they take oaths that they need to do no harm. So, like, I think for the most part, the vast majority of doctors are extremely well-intentioned, good folks. But, like, there's also doctors that, like, sell...
Promethazine.
They sell, what's it called? Fentanyl to drug dealers. Like, there's doctors out there that do that. What is that? What is that when you said?
Promethazine's cough syrup. It's
But
lean.
there are doctors
Lean,
that
boy.
do that.
Lean, brother.
Have you done it before or not?
Yeah.
I've tried to get fucked up on cough
I've done
syrup.
it. I've done it one time. I'll never do it again.
One time is crazy, bro.
I-
One time's
I
crazy.
swear on my life,
One time's insane.
3 times max.
Oh, no. See?
So I got like a bottle
Would
of,
you come to a studio session with me?
what is a studio session?
Like a rapper when they have like a studio session?
Why
they're
are you at the
recording a song.
studio?
Because it's fun and like we'll film there and it's
Who do
just,
you
like,
go with? Why do they invite you?
Dude, I'm...
Yo, I love these questions.
Why
Go.
don't you just- why are you-
why do they invite you? I mean, where do I start?
Yeah, right. Please start from somewhere.
Yeah, no, the first time I ever went,
Yo, he's funny, dog. That was good.
I just noticed a rapper one time in a hotel lobby
Yeah.
in LA.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, I'm a huge fan. Like, I'm in the YouTube space. And I was working for Steve at the time.
Mm-hmm.
This was 42 Doug. And he was like, you guys should come check out the studio.
That's cool.
And you go in, it's like it's an experience. It depends on each rapper.
Yeah.
But there's some that are very passionate and some are parties. But it's a fun-ass time.
I used to spend a lot of studio time with Post Malone. We were used to be
There you go.
tight.
That's dope.
So what does his session look like? And I'll tell you,
I
he's probably more like...
think it's like half, probably.
I think his is less crazy, more like
They
passion.
They were definitely having fun there, but like, yeah, I think they were focused on work.
Yeah.
What was he working on at the time?
It was so long ago. He was about to release, he hadn't even dropped his first album. I think he was working on his first album.
No way.
Yeah.
This is White Iverson days.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
That's pretty f***ing cool.
We connected a long time ago.
Over what?
He was a fan of mine. And one of his people reached out. And I forget who. And I was like, yeah, sure, I'll connect with them. And we just hit it off.
That's cool.
He wasn't really huge at the time either. And over that course of time, he went crazy.
Yeah.
I remember once we went to Olive Garden together. And it was
He always
nuts.
talks about Olive Garden.
Yeah.
He talked about it on the Full Send Pod for ever.
He loves Olive Garden.
That's
Yeah.
hilarious.
Does Olive Garden still exist?
Yeah. dude.
Yeah, rare.
I do
You're not going there now, Mr. Skinny. You're not getting what is it, endless
Those-
bread or
oh,
something?
That's so much good.
No,
They
I
do
can't do
breadsticks?
that. Yeah. I don't.
They got good salads.
Do you eat
there.
meals anymore?
Yeah. Dude,
Okay, what's your go-to cheat meal? And I'm going to rate you on this.
I have always loved, and I will never change, hamburgers and pizza and French fries.
Yeah,
Yeah,
my
that's
go-to is
fire.
Papa John's.
What about dessert?
With Papa John's.
Papa John's is fucking
my boy,
the
dude.
best.
What about
I don't know Papa
dessert-wise,
John
though?
personally,
Dessert?
Yeah.
I'm a monster. I love it all.
I'm
but
a
you don't
big
even
like.
eat dessert.
Well, no,
ice
I'm a
cream
big.
me up, mint and chip ice cream. I'll go nuts.
Yeah. I do
I'd
too.
like the like the bazooki type desserts.
There's Weight Watcher popsicles that have 100 calories. I swear
Okay,
to God, they're
stop.
called,
Jesus Christ.
They're called
That's
Yazoo. They have cookie dough, mint
disgusting.
chocolate chip.
Oh, Yasso?
Yes.
Those are.
See,
Bro, no. Those aren't Weight Watchers,
Well, you
though.
guys just connected on something real.
Bro,
no, they're 100
those
calories. They're
are-
the best
the
shit
cookie
you
dough
can get in
ones.
the game. I want to.
Yo, the
Oh,
cookie.
yeah.
They're
Yes.
so
I have
good.
them.
Why
I
are you
swear-
going to pound him up for cookie dough, not me for
Have you
lean?
been there?
Pound me up for lean, brother.
But I don't believe if you're trolling me or not. I can't tell still.
I've drank a whole bottle of codeine
Okay,
cough
see,
syrup.
that's not good.
But I don't know what lean is. Is that what lean is?
Yeah.
Yes, I did it.
So I
The
did,
first time I did
yeah.
it, I tried it at a studio session and literally slept from like 11 p.m. until 4 p.m. the next day.
That means you. That's how you.
And
get
I was
fucked.
like, "Yo, dude, I don't know what it is that's so cool about this, but it's not for me."
I used to be a pill addict. I was addicted to tramadol when I was in Israel. I took that
Tramadol,
shit for years.
painkiller.
Yeah, painkiller.
Get into
Synthetic
that.
opiate.
You had an injury. Had to.
No, I
Dental?
started it recreationally.
Just randomly.
I was-
Tramadol.
yeah.
What the
So
That's why.
in Thailand,
But that's why when you talk about not being scared about antidepressants, if you've had a history where you've taken pills recreationally, why that wouldn't scare you off a little bit?
it did. It was different for me because recreational drugs. I
You'll
don't know.
never take antidepressants recreationally, I guess.
No, you would never.
So
You get
that's-
no benefit from it.
Yeah.
You don't feel anything. It's like,
Yeah.
you know, it's like you don't feel anything. And it takes months for it to even start working.
How'd you get into tramadol though?
So in Mexico and Thailand, it's legal
Yeah,
over the
straight
counter.
up,
My
yeah.
parents lived in Mexico for a long time. So I thought I would always go to the pharmacy and just see what they had because it was kind of fun and silly. And I would just pick up
Yo, he's
all
more
the
of a
crazy
bro
shit.
than yo.
Yeah, where's
Deep
the,
down, you really are,
yeah,
bro,
you,
dude.
I don't
chirp us,
do-
you're one,
Schultz.
yeah, you are one of
Listen,
us, my friend.
Bro, listen.
We're talking Mexico pharmacias. Yeah,
Yeah.
I want to see you in line there.
Bro, I'll tell you, a Mexican pharmacy is my happy place, dude.
Yeah, that's a
I
scary
love
place.
that. You can get
get a
anything.
Food menu there.
Yeah, it's
Anything
crazy.
you want.
Actually, no, but now that I think about it, the first time I took it was my friend. He lived in Lebanon, and it was legal there too. And we met to have a trip in Greece, and he gave me some, and I was like, "This is so fun," and it is. I've tried a lot of painkillers, but tramadol it like lasts super long in a good way,
Yeah.
and it's like awesome.
The time I've ever taken painkillers is when I got my wisdom teeth out.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's normally when they
Yeah.
prescribe tramadol.
They gave me Vicodin, but I didn't like the Vicodin. But the tramadol was what's
Vicodin
up.
makes you feel
Took
sick.
all
Yeah.
of them
Not good.
and gambled on college sports and had the worst gambling loss I've ever had in my life.
For real? How much did you lose?
20 plus.
20 G's.
Yeah.
That hurts.
Yeah.
That's
Because I couldn't
painful.
move from the couch and I was just sitting there firing every game trying to get it back.
Oh
And
no.
Yeah. And then you just
Chasing.
keep like Vicodin, new
Oh,
fire,
no,
Vicodin, new
bro.
fire. So that wasn't for me.
But like it was bad, obviously. Like as I did it for years, like the addiction started to become more, and like the high was less fun, and it was more just like I needed to have it, and I was like making me. I had a full-time job at the time, like an office job. It was hard. Everything was hard. Sleeping was hard. Everything felt just bad when I
Yeah.
wasn't on it, because you get dependent, and the withdrawal is for real. And I actually finally went off it when I ran out, because I brought back like 2,000 pills from Thailand, which is one of the dumbest things I've ever.
You got through customs, no problem.
Yeah, the dumbest thing
Did
I've
you
ever done
sweat
in my
going
life.
through customs?
Dude, I was because like
gotta be
if they
kinda
caught me,
nervous.
I'd go
You're
to jail
fucked.
for like decades.
Yeah,
Yeah, because you
'Cause it was a-
Thailand.
they
you have
had-
intent to sell and all that probably.
Yes, dude. I had bought thousands. I had thousands. They would have had me on intent to sell easily, even though ironically I didn't want to. I was all for me.
Well, maybe it's a blessing in disguise.
That I wasn't caught.
Oh, bro,
Oh, I
it's a
thought you
ma-
didn't
bro,
get him through.
Bro, he would have went in Thailand
No,
jail
bro, I got him
easy.
You
through.
took all three of them back.
I
You
went-
went through 2,000.
Yeah, bro. I went
that's a
to
problem.
I went to Thailand and I bought thousands of these tramadols, and I brought it back to Israel, and thank God, bro. They didn't like find it, but I had thousands and it lasted me. I was giving it out to people. We were all doing it. It was like ridiculous how much I had, and after like 2 years, I ran out, and that was it.
Good. At least you got off it. It's funny. I always think about when I walk into the, not that I do it, but when I was in college in Cabo, spring break, when you go into the pharmacia, dude, imagine the chaos in America if you could go and buy that kind of over the counter.
Oh man,
Yeah.
Like, why is that? Like,
I think I don't know. Yeah.
it'd be so heavily abused here that it would be like, that's why obviously why we don't have it, but
I think I don't know why. Yeah, in Mexico, I don't think people go and just buy tramadol. I don't think that's a thing. But I don't know why. I mean, there's a culture in America of like, I mean, there's a real opioid epidemic going on. And
yeah.
I don't, that's a lot to do with like the drug companies and the doctors. And there was like a whole, I mean, they lost massive lawsuits, the Oxycontin family.
Yeah.
Forget their name. Because they were doing really shady stuff and they were pushing it when they knew they shouldn't. They were getting it like prescribed for things that it wasn't relevant to. So they were like pushing out this mega addiction out on like our populace. And I think a lot is trickling down from that.
that's why I feel that way. I feel
Sackler
about
family
doctors
thing.
in general, just because of that sort of shit.
Yeah.
where I know it's not just in the best interest.
I guess
Also
I
money-making
like my
machine.
doctors, you know.
Yeah,
I like my
and obviously it
doctors.
worked for you, so it's hard to.
But these days, doctors won't give you shit because of the epidemic. Like I can't even get a Vicodin anymore.
that's good.
They're like Motrin.
That means it's working. You don't need those anymore.
Motrin
look
definitely.
at you, dude.
What if Motrin's easy?
Motrin is
Motrin,
just
you buy it at
ibuprofen.
CVS. Yeah. I took Advil PM last night. Up
Word.
at 5 and stayed up.
By the way, that
Thinking
pee-
about, how am I gonna go at H3 today?
Yeah, I know you were thinking
Just
about
watching
it.
some clips. Wait, I had a couple saved on TikTok. Let me look at them.
I gotta leave, dude. It's 5. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
all right.
You
You're
crushed it, bro. That was fun.
That was fun. I hope
That was really good.
First of all, I'm glad we connected.
Dude,
And
H3, you're the
it
man.
was fun.
This
Thanks,
was honestly
bro.
a really cool podcast.
You're,
One of my
you're
favorite ones
cool.
I've done.
I'm always bros with Bradley. I know
Yeah.
you're a good dude, and I love. And although we come from different places, I think it's really good that we can talk about these things. Like, I think it's great.
Absolutely.
100%.
And even though there's a lot of people that are watching that are going to disagree with me on a lot of stuff, I hope that like they can at least respect the
Absolutely.
conversation that we're having.
Okay, and
should.
the last thing is you're gonna come out with us one night, and we'll come to yours for like.
You coming out on my night is like
No, but it'd be funny. To
I don't do
imagine a
anything.
video like that of H3 comes with us one night,
Milk
and then we go to
Boys and
H3's.
H3 collab.
Dude, let's
That'd
try
go crazy.
I'd go out for a crazy night of drinking with you guys.
it. Dude, let's do it, bro.
That would actually be because I'll get up when I drink.
And you'll
I'll go.
yeah, that's the problem. So you'll enter in a
Give me that
worse
vodka
than
bottle.
You're fucking yeah.
I'm gonna show Steve what's up.
Okay, let's do it.
Oh, shit.
Let's do it. No, dude, this has been amazing.
Yeah, thank you so much, man.
Thank you
that was
guys.
fun.
Yeah, it was
For
really
real.
Cool.
fun. I
That was dope.
appreciate
Thank you,
y'all.
Steiny.
Yeah, all right,
Thanks
I
for
gotta
coming.
take this.
Appreciate you,
All
brother.
right, cool.